Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good evening and welcome back to the last day of the first qualifier for North American Challenger League season number 9. My name is Jesse J. Chick. I'm going to be one of your casters today. Joining me is Benny AU and Keg on the production. Benny, welcome to the stream.
Yes, great to be here. Great to see these games here in CL Quals number 1. It's great to cast with you again, Jesse. Been a while, actually.
It's been a little bit, yeah. I think we casted together last CL Quals, was it?
I think we did a little CL Quals. I think we did invite Quals, didn't you?
I didn't do any invite Quals, no.
Maybe it must have been CL Quals. Was that really last CL Quals?
Must have been, I guess.
What? Really?
Nah.
What was between that? There had to be something else to cast because I remember casting it recently, I thought. Maybe I don't remember. It's been a while. Either way, it's been quite a while. We have the top 2 teams here right now in the CL Quals, but for the first, 6 rounds so far, they've been undefeated.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the last 2 undefeated teams. This is actually a pretty big match because, again, this is going to be winner of this gets first place, right?
Well, we still have 3 more rounds left, so it's not in stone, but it's definitely leading to be, that teams win that first place here for this qual. Because if you guys didn't know, these just work like the invite quals where teams will get points based on how they place in these quals. These are Swiss format. You don't lose. You can't lose 3 times or you're out. It's basically teams are trying to win as many games as possible and see if they get first, second, or third place. And I think you get points based on otherwise if you're 4th or 5th, something like that. Maybe I don't
Totally.
know. Either way,
so.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's either way. They're trying to qualify for close qualifiers/playoffs.
Exactly. And then the ultimate goal, of course, Challenger League for season number 9, and then Pro League season number 12. We are a little bit unclear on how that works. Ubisoft has yet to announce, but I think it's safe to assume that whoever does well in this CL season will have a better chance at being in Pro League, at the very least.
Yeah, it's weird. They kind of went over it in like concrete for EU, but for NA it seems very
they were wishy-washy. Yeah,
very
like purposely vague too. I don't want to like hypothesize.
Yeah,
but I think we have everybody ready in the server, so as long as we have the R's from both teams, there we go. We can get going live with this. Again, it is going to be OTF versus Senshi on Consulate, getting into the match right now. And hopefully should be a good game. Who are you expecting? Do you have any predictions going into this one before we start off?
So we've seen Senshi play in quite a few games. You see, probably guys have watched probably the Invite Quals. You've probably seen other streams where Senshi has played. So they're a team that's been together for a while. They've played quite a few games against Katsu, against Okami, against those big name games right now in those tier 3 you've seen before. So they're looking good. But OTF, they're not a no-name team technically. All the players on there you've seen before. Timzy, you've seen Shrine, you've seen Glamoji. You've seen them all from different teams of 4. So I wouldn't say there's any clear-cut decider here, but I would say probably the confidence vote is essentially for the moment.
Capitao being the first operator banned off. Nomad also going to get taken off of the board. So pretty common when you're not seeing Hard Destructors or Thatcher being banned off. Those are probably the 2 operators that you're going to see go. Capitao and Nomad. Capitao just very oppressive in general, right? Going to be making it very hard to stand certain positions, and those smoke bolts as well, very strong. Nomad, the flank watch, the main thing there. Maestro off of the boards, a little bit more common we're seeing in this recent patch. Just because Goyo also being on the board means that if you have a Maestro and a Goyo, there's a lot that you need to destroy. There's a lot you need to get through. And that Alda is never fun to go up against. Echo, the other operator off of the board, makes a lot of sense. I believe the most commonly banned operator on defense.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Most banned. Usually see Mirror banned out. A lot of people see Mirror, but it's Consulate. Mirror isn't nearly as useful as most teams would like, especially because it's not a lot of great spots. You can put him in like maybe closet upstairs as an admin, or like the break room as break room and admin. Or you can put it downstairs in the small office for garage. But either way, there's not a lot of work there. As it looks like you're starting up a cafeteria and garage here.
Cafeteria garage, it is indeed. We'll get into this very first round. Taking a look at the operators that are being brought off. Interesting that we're seeing none of those hard anchors, such as the Mira, which again, she is going to be unbanned. So, not being brought for this first hold. It's possible we won't see it on any of the sites because again, Mira is a little bit more out of favor from what we usually get, or from where she used to be way back in the day. Might be a few stream issue qualities. I think we're going to try to restart the clean feed just to get this better. It shouldn't interrupt the game or anything, but we will have a very short break as we get this figured out. Shouldn't take too long, though. We should be able to get this before the round really gets underway.
Well, I can always maybe just talk about the game, I guess. I can talk about the still image I have.
There you go. I mean, again, between these two teams, again, over the operators as well. I would probably put this a little bit more in favor of the offense if we see one side take the edge over the other, just due to the fact that the bans went the way they did. Maestro and Echo being pretty crucial in terms of who you're holding on to, right? When you're in those hard anchor positions, it's going to be important that you're able to like lock those down, stop the plant from going down. It's a lot harder when you don't have the those two operators, right, with the Echo and the Maestro. So probably we're going to see the attack have a little bit of an edge there. It's probably not going to be enough to make it like a 5-1 split or anything like that, especially since these two teams do seem to be fairly even. Looks like we have the stream back up and running, so we'll get back into this thing. Again, only about 30 seconds of this round, but I would predict that maybe we see like a 4-2 split going in favor of the attackers, if not just a 3-3.
Yeah, we'll see. That was just see Jackal's on the board too, which is a pretty powerful operator for deterring a lot of the defense's roam. So it's pretty big to see not only, you know, have the Jackal Inox on the board, but, you know, C7E, pretty powerful kit, secondary, and maybe Smokes as well if he brings that long. So we're going to see exactly what Senshi does here. Is, you know, Pulse on the board from Slippery. Pretty powerful tool to get rid of and deal with some of this, deal with Jackal or anybody inside of Visa, and Cobra playing on the Vigil. There's a lot of aggression here for his downstairs defense from Senshi, it seems like.
They certainly don't want to take it too passively, and it can be a big thing to set the pace in a round like this. Your very first matchup, the very first round of the day for both of these teams, of course. So oftentimes we do see teams want to get a little bit more aggressive, particularly in this open round. Now, there's nothing crazy going on like runouts. We have Cobra, of course, playing on the Vigil at the top of, or at least in the middle of those spiral stairs. Hasn't gotten anybody just yet. Some bullets being pumped into shrines, though, and as he has to back off, I'm not even sure if he knows where he was getting shot from. He's got to watch out for stuff like that because, as you mentioned, not afraid to poke around there on the defense.
Yeah, biggest thing is they're probably set in place here to try and, you know, deter ZZ here on the Buck from using that skeleton key to really do damage to the anchors. The wall is opened up though. The garage is now open from Timsy, so they have an angle on the site, but they can't be too, you know, too rush attempts here to try to get in. They have to deal with the light roamers, deal with the guys at the bathroom still, which is we Cardama, who's there, goes down from the side of the softball inside of Press, and Shrines gets one. ZZ takes a Cobra. That's actually really two good big kills here for OTF.
So now you've taken down two of those roaming operators on the defense. They weren't super far off site by any stretch of the imagination, but either way, you're not going to have to worry about them too much now. You've got still some hard anchors to hold things down. Your smoke is not bad, but as I've mentioned, those banned out operators means you don't have a whole lot to work with on this anchor. So it's going to be really tough to hold on for these defenders. You've got 5 guys still going to be running at you. They have 20 seconds. The timer really not favoring the attack, but again, with that man advantage, it's going to be something that they can try to work with. AIM opening up more and more of these floorboards. They do have somebody outside, hopefully, to go for that plant sooner rather than later. Timsy in position to do just that, but he gets shut down, dropping the diffuser. He's got a teammate to pick it up, but he can't worry about picking up the thermite because he needs to get in and start the plant. Oh, all the kills going in favor of the defense. This might just be what they needed. No plant in position, and that's going to be Senshi taking round number 1. Really well played with the objective there.
That was a really good, well, I'd say really good role play. It was a really good hold at the end there from Senshi. And also just, they did get rid of the roamers, but in the big part is just how long it took for them to do the roamers in the first place. Yes, they did kill both, I think it was both Cobra and Cardama very in a quick succession, but by that point it was already a minute left. There wasn't a lot of time left for the attack of OTF to really go for a kind of strategy. They kind of had to rush it a little bit. You saw them open up floors, try to get kills on any of the anchors, couldn't find anything. They had to run through. You see Timsy trying to peek and find somebody gets shot from garage. So a little bit of a slow there from OTF first round. A bit slow on their part to deal with these roamers, but we'll see them now go upstairs here for Senshi on their second defense, and we need to see how OTF attacks this site. If it'll be a bit faster, hopefully.
Talked about this in previous days, but I think a big thing looking at these qualifiers is just kind of getting to know a lot of these teams. Senshi's been together for a long time. OTF's a little bit newer of a squad, but neither of them have had very much of a spotlight on them for most people in Rainbow Six Siege. So a lot of this is going to be sort of defining these teams for us. And I think you take a look at the teams inside of the qualifiers, you see a lot of big names on there. You see teams like PogChamps, teams like EXG 2.0, teams like Katsu 2, right, with a lot of really well-known names. And I don't think most people would have predicted these two teams to be the final two undefeated teams in the first qualifier. It is a little bit fickle, you know, a bunch of best of ones. I don't think by any stretch of imagination we can definitively say these are the best two teams inside of these qualifiers, but I think, you know, credit to these teams for making it this far, and it's going to be important to watch as a viewer perspective how these two teams develop, assuming they make it all the way to the closed bracket, how they'll actually be performing once they get there and once they're in more of a do-or-die situation.
Yeah, there's still 3 more rounds to go in this qualifier, so this is the 6th round. This still is a, you know, actually, no, 7th round. This is the 7th round. It's still one of the big rounds here, especially because both teams have 6-0 on their mark, 6 wins, 0 losses, and whoever loses this is going to be put in 2nd place. But you know, it's maybe not for long, because in the next round, the other team could lose it out against another team. So I think we'll see what happens now as we see them pushing for yellow stairs. Cobra is going to be the one on the Jaeger, of course, to try and stop them from taking yellow stairs with the ADSs. Any grenades coming through. The Capitals on the board to help out and deal with a Jaeger on yellow stairs. A grenade comes through from ZZ. Oof.
First kill going to go down. That grenade not finding any frags, but aim is able to pick one up on a slippery. So that's going to be a player advantage in favor of OTF. So far, their attack has been very focused on the west side. Really, they're going to be looking inside of this console office windows. 2 different ways to push this bomb site. Of course, you push from the west, you push from the east. Clearly going to be favoring one of those over the other. Cobra in a bit of a position to get an engagement. You've got aim on the staircase, then you've got the buck on the windows as well. Just coming in both perfectly timed, coordinated with absolute precision. That's going to let ZZ hit the headshot. Neither of them going down is huge there. Seeing a lot of coordination coming out. Really, really well done by OTF. That's not, again, something that you'd expect to see from these sort of lower level teams. You've dealt with a couple of the roamers now. The first one with a little bit of a peek. The second one thanks to really good coordination on that entryway. Now you've got to start focusing on these bomb sites. Timsy actually already going for a plant. This is a very early attempt from him. That smoke canister clearly not going to be enough of a deterrent, and it goes down. It's a double kill from aim as these defenders continue to fall. The smoke eventually kills Timsy, but again, just a little bit too little, too late. Yoshi and his castle need to get back into this fight, and quickly. Cardama finds Shrines to start to equalize those numbers, but it's still going to be a player add in favor of OTF. Oh, a nice shot from both of them, actually. Yoshi and Cardama both get one apiece. ZZ from downstairs now has to hold on to this, playing only vertically. These bars not going to be his friend. The defenders need to use them as protection. Cardama's going to start with this. ZZ finds Yoshi, who's going for the rotation, sticking his plant to Cardama. He gets off of it now. The ping's coming from ZZ, but from above, the shots come down with the pistol. Well done by Cardama, and he has more than enough time to get this counter defuse. A brilliantly clutched out round, and that's going to put round number 2 strongly in the hold of Senshi, 2-0.
So again, it was a bit different this time. This time, they actually really get 2 kills. They really get Slippy downstairs. That was due to Aimer on the yellow stairs. Good work to deal with one of the roamers. And coming upstairs, dealing with also on the Jaeger as well with a really good timed double entry, I guess, onto the yellow stairs. They get rid of the Jaeger of, I think it was Cardama on the yellow stairs. I can't remember who was on the yellow stairs. But either way, getting 2 kills really quickly. They had a lot of time. They had 1:20 at that point still to go for plant. Timsy gets in, gets the plant, gets killed by his smoke. But wow, how well it was for the last 2 members of Senshi to claw the way back, take those kills, and gain access. You had ZZ below with the buck, with the skeleton to try and, you know, defend from below, because of course that would be a much better way to deal with someone trying to get the diffuser or trying to counter defuse. But at that point, you only open a little bit, and he was being pressured, and time was running out, and he could not find the kill, and allowed for just them to clutch it out for Senshi. That was just so fantastic, and this is really what you see from Senshi and why they're this far in the Steel qualifiers.
So again, there's been some bit of a discussion on sort of how these qualifiers work. We can go over that for you guys in case you're not super up to date on it now. How this is going to work out is we've got 5 open qualifiers. Depending on how you place in these qualifiers, you will get a certain amount of points. Those points will then feed into a closed bracket system, so the top 16 teams with the most points in the open qualifiers across all 5 combined will get put into the closed qualifier. It's a double elimination bracket, and then the top 5 or 6 teams, depending on how many, depending mostly if Disrupt disbands, which I think they are, will be fed into Challenger League season number 11. So getting first place in a qualifier like this one gets you around 100 points. That should be enough to secure you a spot, not the first place spot, but at least a spot in the round of 16. Probably you're going to want to play more qualifiers to elevate your positioning, your rank in that closed qualifier, but it's really important to do well even in these early qualifiers, because those points, they're going to carry on no matter when you get them.
Yeah, very much true. If you saw guys, if you guys watched the invite calls, you probably saw a little bit of points here from other teams, and like you saw from Katsu, they had 200 points because they won 2 qualifiers. That pretty much solidifies them for the close qualifiers. So winning 2 would probably definitely would make sure you're in for the close quals. But we'll see upstairs. We see looking to do a downstairs hold here from the defense. Going to the tertiary site, going to your lobby and press room. Slippery, of course, and a number of other members from Senshi holding upstairs to not allow for also well to hold upstairs vertically to not allow them to plant in lobby, but also to then make sure they can drop down and deal with anybody placing or deal with the attackers who are trying to gain control upstairs too.
Slow hold right now from Cobra, who's inside of the top desk. You've got now more of an east side take. So this has been a very different take from what we saw last time around. It is a different bomb site, and it is going to be a different opening pick as ZZ finds the head of Cobra. That's the dock off of the board, and you can see just based off of these operators, I mean, there is a lot of aggression coming up from the defense. A lot of ACOGs as well. Kardama able to put those ACOGs to good use as he gets the return frag onto ZZ before finally dropping off of that top floor. Again, the bomb site is down in lobby, so you don't need to be holding up top there, but vertical play anytime in Siege is always going to be a huge asset to your team. That puts us into, again, a more of a 4-on-4 and even contest between these two squads. But the top floor has been taken control of by OTF. So you made a 1-for-1 exchange. You wasted about 2 minutes, but you got this top floor. So I think you're probably happy with this if you're OTF.
Yeah, it's still a bit of time. I feel like Senshi at this point did drop a bit early because this does give time for the sledge of Glomoji or Aimer with the lifeline to open up the floor and really deal with any roamers. It's hard to find, or not roamers, any anchors. It is hard to deal maybe with the player inside of bathroom. You see Murray downstairs on that downstairs roam, looking to find somebody rotating downstairs from Visa stairs, and now looks like smoke's coming through. Plank come down with Timsy, and this is where the X2 comes down. And there are all these angles being held by the members of OTF to deny any kind of retake as the plank will go down. Yoji gets one to aim though, so it's not all but over. And you see Murdy getting aggressive, trying to find the player of Glomoji upstairs, and Timsy's gonna find an angle way outside to deny any kind of retake of the diffuser as Kardama looking around trying to find Timsy. He looks left, looks right, can't see him as Timsy's playing very, very passive. Glomoji will take up Murdy as Murdy's been upstairs looking for him. Kardama not sure what to do at this point as there's a run out. Oh, it is Shrines around the corner to take out Kardama. Now this is Yoji in a 1v3 with SMG-11 in his hand, trying to find anybody outside the door. He just find one. He finds Shrines, but it'll be free refragged by Timsy immediately. And OTF take another round. We'll take their first round actually.
A little bit strange on the positioning, I would say, coming out from Senshi. I mean, that round in particular, that's 2 in a row now where they've let the plant get downed. And, of course, one time they were able to clutch it back up. At that time, it was not going to work out for them. It's a very difficult bomb site to retake. I think this map in particular, Consulate, has a lot of those sites where, like, if the diffuser goes down, it's really tough to fight back and still get that win as a defender. Maybe Console Office is probably the most easily retaken site, and maybe the split site as well. But I mean, Cafeteria Garage, which we go to now, and then Lobby Press Room, another one where once it goes down in front of that, in front of the main doorway, you're pretty much lost. So people from Senshi need to be in better positions to just stop that from happening. You can't be relying so much on the post plant because clearly that's not what's been working out for you. And on this map in particular, it's just not that strong of a strategy. So I would say for them, maybe just move yourself into positions where you're going to stop that ahead of time, and don't be so disrupted by the roamers and the flankers who are coming around from OTF, who were really just poking holes at you and distracting you to get their planter down.
Yeah, like I pointed out before, maybe losing or conceding upstairs so quickly because you gave him so much time to just create that execute, create those angles, and just hold the the points they need to for that retake. And really, that's what Senshi kind of let OTF do for the round, and hopefully they'll learn for next time when they play that to not do that. But same point now, we'll be going back downstairs, and this is actually a whole entire different strat for this bottom floor site.
Yeah, you're very right. This is a Mira being played inside of bathrooms. It's not totally unheard of, but very much counter to what they were playing in the very first round. They won it, so interesting that they still choose to change it up. I guess just really wanted to pull out all the stops up against OTF. Clearly a team that they feel threatened by, as they should, because again, this is the last 2 undefeated teams in the very first qualifiers. They've got 2 players inside a bathroom. Oftentimes we'll see one, but it's not super common to see both. They've left that hatch soft but closed, so both teams, or both players inside of the bathroom having a shotgun means they can open that when they'd like to. They're not going to be able to get down in a split second if they need to, but they still have that option available to them, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. I like the setup, all things considered. You've got 3 guys still in the basement. You don't have any roamers, really. Shrines on the Jackal's not going to be super effective because you know where everybody is already. You know they're either going to be on site or they're going to be inside of the bathroom. Like, great, the Jaeger, he's probably going to be downstairs. Yeah, it's not too big of a deal that you're getting caught out by that Jackal. And then you've got some decently strong ACOG operators, some good smoke coverage as well. So I like this hold a lot from the defense. Even though the last one worked quite well, I don't hate that they're switching things up.
Yeah, so we'll see them pushing, trying to get an angle on the person inside of bathroom. That buck, you can get a close angle in the corner there with that skeleton key. And so Murdy's kind of being pushed into a corner, but the hatch is soft though, so they can at least drop down if they need to. As you see, AIM and ZZ go down, they're gonna try and deal with the person inside of actually say that bathroom. Murdy's already gone. He's already dropped down at this point. He knows he's being pressured, and so nobody's in here except for Cardam with shotgun actually. And Shrines is unfortunate in the game.
Oh no, that's very unlucky. He's now not going to be able to play anymore. At least ZZ will get the refrag, so Yochi's, you know, fallen to even out the scoreline, a 4-on-4. And thankfully, if he gets back into the game, we can have him... Ooh, great shotgun play from Cardama. We can have him get back and get on cameras if he's fast enough. That shotgun play from Cardama is going to, once again, get the refrag onto ZZ and put the numbers advantage in favor of Senshi. They're trying to hold him to this basement floor once again, and these attackers aren't really playing on the basement. Cardama finds one player as he runs past his window, now knowing that he's going to challenge him inside of the doorway. There goes the ADS, and some of these lifelines going to disorient the guy who's just inside, but there's another ADS, so he's going to be just fine. Glowmoji does find Cobra up on the top of that hatch, so a far roam shut down and a late one as well. There's more ADSs to catch all of this utility. The bullets won't be caught by them, though. Cardama eats about half of his HP gone, but the shotgun, it's too good. Takes down AIM, and now Glowmoji forced to go up against this beast, but he can't do it. Cardama with the triple and looking for one more. Timsy's nowhere to be found. We're calling for a rehost because this round is basically over. Is Timsy really going to challenge the beast? I don't recommend this to anybody. He's taken a lot of damage already. The shotgun comes out big, but it's not enough. Timsy left with 20 HP in 10 seconds to somehow find a plant. This is all but unwinnable for him. They just need to play it safe, sit back and relax on the defense. And with 4 seconds remaining on that clock, Slippery watching his doorway, Murdy as well. Nobody finds anybody. It's going to be Senshi winning off time. It's round number 4, puts him up 3-1.
So what around here from Senshi, or not from Senshi, but OTF unfortunately losing a member. We have to do a rehost real quick to get that member back. But unfortunately it could have been around, but unfortunately also, you know, being able to deal with Cardama in the bathroom was a big one there. They didn't use a lot of utility to deal with him. I'm not sure if they're really trying to at that point, having lost the member already. I'm not sure because what was in the mind of OTF for that moment. But either way, really good work from Cardama to hold onto bathroom for that long. And just good work from Senshi for that round. And we'll do it to rehost. We'll be taking a quick break to get that going.
Hopefully this rehost won't take too long. We're only 4 rounds in, so you know what? I'm gonna hope I might be jinxing it here, Benny, but I'm hoping that this is our one issue of the night and we get it out of the way early, and then the rest of the games and the rest of the match are gonna go perfectly smoothly, and there won't be any issues. That's what I'm predicting is gonna happen.
I feel like you'd be saying that just jinxes it in the first place.
Yeah, but I'm knocking on wood. Do you hear this? Now it won't be. We're okay.
Knocking on wood. But anyway, so Senshi so far pretty tearing up quite a bit on defense here. They're just really on a roll here. And Constance, like, would you consider Constance defense side, or just really thinking that it's just Senshi really holding it down very well on these times?
Definitely wouldn't say that it was that's a defensive side of map. I'd say it's pretty 50-50, and especially with these bans, it doesn't seem like it should be going towards the defense. I think that a lot of, like, the garage defenses have been strong, which you'd expect from a consulate map. So that makes sense that they were able to hold the bomb site both those times. They lost lobby, which makes sense. Really, the only thing that makes this a 3-1 and not a 2-2 is the fact that they got that crazy clutch defending the very top floor. So I don't, you know, I don't think that this has been a hugely dominant match. Of course, it's a 3-1 scoreline, and you got to give Senshi credit for that. But I think more or less these teams have been sort of back and forth, pretty even, winning on the bomb sites that they're supposed to be winning on. And the close bomb site, as some people would say, the top floor has been a pretty close contest. So yeah, I think it's been pretty back and forth so far. But that little difference, I mean, that can be all the difference in the world, right? If this comes down to like a 7-5 or even an overtime matchup, you're probably going to be going way back to round number 2 and saying, well, if we had just been able to clutch that one out from OTF, that's a whole different map.
Very much agreed. It's that one round is like rounds like that where they win by the skin of their teeth, but they really shouldn't have because they're man advantages against them is really big here for Senshi. It's just that the fact that OTF, if they go on the defense and they can't do the same, is going to be a big blow to them because we need to see how they do in defense. We still have a lot of rounds to go here on the defense of Senshi, but think a bit ahead, seeing how we do so far. We'll see what exactly OTF also do on the next time they attack upstairs too, because they're going to do it again. They're going to attack upstairs probably next round now. It's going to be a top floor defense from Senshi most likely. And so I would definitely want to see if they go for that same strat, get in through, yellow stairs, get in through the windows of B and go for a plant. And hopefully this time able to actually defend from below and keep that diffuser from being retake from the defense. But either way, we'll see the members come back in. We're setting up everything in this lobby. And most likely I'm interested to see exactly what they change here for OTF. If they're going to change anything at all, really.
I hope they do on the console holds, because again, you want it, but you're not in the way you want it to. I'm especially encouraged just based off the fact that the way that they played that very last round, round number 4, still changing things up, still getting creative, and still finding success with it too. They're clearly a team that have a lot of strategies. They've been practicing together. I think that's pretty apparent. They've put a lot of work in for these qualifiers, so they probably have some other strategy set up for that top floor. Probably they're going to bring it out now. I think we're also going to see maybe a difference in the way that the team gets attacked, or the site gets attacked. OTF, of course, focused really hard on those windows, those west side windows last time around. You could put some pressure in offices. That's not a terrible idea. Maybe that keeps some more players alive for the post plant once you get into that situation, because again, that was a big deal, and something that was really, really good for Senshi and allowed them to kind of clutch it back. The fact that so many players had gone down. So it wouldn't surprise me if we saw adaptation actually coming out from both teams, just due to how close that last round number 2 was.
Yeah, I think you too. Like if they had maybe a player on, because you remember at the end then when it was that postman situation, you had a player on the windows, or B, you had a player on bathroom windows. You had a player. I think there was a player also below as well. It was ZZ or the Bucks. So maybe if they had a player maybe flanking from Visa, go for that backside to make sure they can't go for the retake. It'd been different for OTF that round, but we'll see exactly what they do when they retake or try and re-attack upstairs here on this next round. And so essentially, we'll see if they change up their operators line through as well. If they try to bring a different operator, maybe try to be more aggressive, or maybe not roam as much, because you saw like in the beginning you had I think Slippery on the mute was down already within the first like minute or so, playing downstairs in the basement. Maybe be different, maybe not as aggressive.
Well, it looks like we have everybody in the server. 2 players need to swap teams, so we can't go live just yet unless they're choosing to trade players, but that'll be, I don't think that's allowed. I think they have to play with the same players. There's no trades mid-game. Maybe like between quals, but not mid-game. Wait for Slippery and Shrines to get on their correct team, and then we should be good to go here on Consulate.
Slippery, Slippery.
Shrines has tried to move over. It's just Slippery. He's probably in the bathroom or something. He said, "Don't worry, I joined the server." But no, we're still waiting on him, unfortunately. But it's qualifiers. It's the way she goes sometimes.
Yeah. Hey, it's things happen. People are busy with life, especially because CL doesn't pay them much anyway, too. So probably have jobs as well, and they're busy people.
Totally.
So not too crazy to see. But definitely excited to see what team they play next and who wins out these next games too. Because I'm excited to see them play EXG or play like PogChamp or whoever else is next on the list.
Yeah, actually, both of these teams had to get some upsets to get here, obviously. Senshi managed to take down Katsu 2 in the very last game of day 2, and then OTF beat PogChamp in the very last game of day 2. So both of these squads have like a high caliber win under their belt.
Oh, Senshi beat Okami too.
Really? Damn,
yeah, okay. They beat Okami as well. So they beat Okami and they beat Katsu on their run here so far yesterday. And then PogChamp was OTF beat PogChamp, and they beat Bra, I guess, as well, which is a good team.
Yeah, Bra's
Thick maybe as well. Those are pretty good games right there to beat. So they've definitely made a name for themselves on the way here. Again, these are best of ones though, so they're not like, a total
for sure.
Total calculation of the skill. It's gonna be dependent on what happens later on. Just because they go into close qualifiers, I'm assuming they're gonna be like the invite close qualifiers was all gonna be best of 3s and maybe a best of 5 at the end.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that would be crazy.
There was no best of 5, right? Because they don't play all the way to the end of the qualifier. It doesn't matter who gets first. You're still qualifying for Challenger League. So.
Oh yeah, that doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, it doesn't matter actually.
But yeah, I mean, it is best of 3s.
It doesn't matter who's first place. Yeah.
It's best of 3s from the very start all the way to the end.
Yeah, best of 3s from the very start be the thing. Yeah, that's definitely a way better see their skill, but they got to go through the grinder first to get there, unfortunately.
Oh, totally. You've got to prove that you deserve a spot in that 16-team closed qualifier before you can actually compete for that, that spot
Play
in
9
Challenger
best of ones
League.
every single week.
Yeah, I mean it's long. It's not necessarily 9 if you've got if you lose some games. We've got everybody in the server though. We've got everybody readied up, folks. So we are about to jump back into this matchup live in round number 5, soon as we start things here. So as long as you're good to go,
Let's do it to it.
Alrighty, and so again, if you are just joining us, it is 3-1, favoring Senshi. The first 2 rounds did go in favor of them, then they lost round number 3, and then round number 4, they managed to strike back. Here we go, on to Consulate. Likely that they're going to go back to the top floor, to the console offices. This was a really, really close round. We saw a lot of kills going back and forth. We saw a lot of clutch plays at the very end there. Interesting strategy from ZZ to play it from below. Not inherently bad, but Slippery, I believe it was, at the very end of that round, had a pretty nutty pistol shot to win it out for Senshi in that final round. Actually going to move off of the castle, though, so already we're starting to see a bit of a change in strategy from both squads. Timsy also goes to the Thatcher. Okay, no hard destruction being brought.
Well, if they're going for that west side take, a hard breach doesn't really make sense anyway, because they didn't even need to use Thermite anyway for that take.
Very true, very true.
So I guess the EMPs could be more helpful to deal with either Mozzie or the Black Eyes of Valkyrie, though an IQ would probably be really nice about now if they know the I guess they don't know Valkyrie being on the board, so it's interesting to see Thatcher being brought though, because where are you going to use EMPs? The only thing really here the EMP would be the Pest from Mozzie.
Yeah, I mean you could sort of
maybe ADS.
The Valkyrie cams as well could get disrupted. They don't get destroyed, but they do
Crazy.
get fuzzy. So yeah,
give her the ADSs too on yellow.
Yeah, so there's uses certainly. And it's better than the Thermite. If you're not going to be going through the offices, then why not, right? So, okay.
Yeah.
I don't hate that at all, the swap off the Hard Destructor. It does sort of, it does, broadcast what they're going to be doing, but they did it in a 6-pick, so it's not even going to be that obvious to Senshi. And I think Senshi should still be probably prepping for both sides, right, east and west, because that last push worked to get the plant down, but it wasn't the best push ever. Again, as I was saying before we went to the break, that it wouldn't be surprising to me if OTF went for a bit of a change in strategy. They won't be, at least in terms of the push that I expect to see from them. But still, I mean, it's... I like the play, is what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Senshi are really looking to try. They're looking. They're expecting to go from the west side again. Most of the players are playing inside of sight. They're just waiting for a push from yellow stairs or from the windows. Nobody's really playing an admin either. And I don't see anybody up downstairs again like Slippery. I don't think. Actually, no. Yeah, I don't see anybody playing downstairs though from Senshi. Actually, no. Maybe one is. There's a figure in the distance that's downstairs. I think in piano actually. I can barely tell.
Creeping around down there, yeah, you can see them on your outlines. They're worried about somebody walking through that front door. That's what Yoji's is up to right now. The push has been pretty slow so far. You're only just crossing that 1 minute mark now, and AIM actually finds a kill, so that's really well done from your timing. You find Kardama, who was that lurker down on those bottom floors. You're able to flush him out before he can do any real damage to you. And look at this intel being gathered by the attackers too. There's a 2-man flank, but it has been called out, and Cobra and Slippery are perhaps walking into a very dangerous position. They do have the opportunity to retreat, just go back upstairs, but Slippery falls, so that tells me he probably didn't make it. And Glomo, oh man, Glomoji finds the second frag, a headshot, nails it down. Yoji finds another kill onto AIM, so these kills continue to go back and forth. We got one of those toxic babes stopping the plants, but 2 defenders left alive. This has been a much better attack coming out from OTF. Their clear has been a whole lot stronger. Only losing one in the process is a huge deal.
Yeah, Timsy's on site in the corner, but it looks like he's waiting for a chance to plant the diffuser behind maybe IKEA behind the soft wall, or not, I mean by the couch. I mean, and so he's waiting for a chance, but you don't want to rush it. You don't want to fall into the same trap where there's a clutch from the last members. Essentially, as Yoji is taking shots. I don't think he has any stim pistols left. I think he used all his stims at this point too. Oh no, he has one more left to kill himself up. But there is a down. Timsy goes down the corner. He's the one with the diffuser too. And a Yoji gets a headshot on the Glomoji, who rushes up yellow stairs. And this is all kind of falling apart, but it's 44 seconds left to go. Shots come down onto the Shrines as well, but Shrines gets down, he lies down, gets a headshot on the Murdy, and now it's just Yoji in a 1v3, no, technically a 1v2, no, it's a 1v1, as Shrines goes down too, and now it's all to ZZ to jump into sight, try and get the defuse and go for a plant or pick up Timsy. He has 27 seconds, he sees the head, he gets the headshot on the Yoji, and OTF take that round, and what could have been another clutch from Senshi though.
A good start to the round for OTF. They started to throw it away there as they went for their execute. Not getting that plant down was a pretty huge deal. They could have got that down a lot earlier if they didn't lose their planter. But good recovery from ZZ in that 1v1 in particular to shut down the incredible comeback potential that we were seeing from Yoji. So yeah, I mean, really, really well done from OTF despite the slip up about 2/3 of the way through that round. They take it and they get a little bit closer to that tied 3-3 scoreline, especially with the bans and with the map. You would be hoping for a minimum of a 3-3, but I think taking a look at that last matchup, you're probably pretty comfortable going into round number 6 as well if you're OTF.
Definitely, yeah, that was a lot better time. Definitely a very good start though. It was almost just like they started that same round up before, that they got the first kill on the one of the roamers, and then that double roam, but that pre-placed drones. Great place for the OTF to see that double roam coming from Visa into that spiral stairs and lobby, and then Glomo just waiting, getting those kills. So great work from OTF to really understand and see the aggression from Senshi. And I guess that aggression really kind of cost them the sense, even though Yoji almost clutched it.
It's kind of a position where you have to do something if you're Senshi in that position, right? So I don't hate that they started to get aggressive with their 3 remaining players. A 3-on-5 is sort of a cause for alarm almost, where you need to do something to get that man count a little bit close to being evened out, if not even it out entirely. So yeah, you kind of had to go for something in that situation, and I don't disagree with the plays being made by Senshi there. It just didn't happen to work out. You gotta stand up a little bit tougher, I would say, in the early parts of those rounds. So we'll come back around to round number 6, and Shrines on the outside, starting to find a couple of these outside Valkyrie cameras, as well as the default cams if he has to. Looking around, getting in towards the building. I mean, your standard stuff to start off this round.
Yeah, it's same as always. IQ being brought along this time, though, is pretty helpful to get rid of those black eyes. They are learning, at least, that the Valkyrie plays and the aggression from Slippery is also what's allowing him to do is what the black eyes are. So Pest as well being brought as to a Mozzie again on Kardama, so they can't really drone yellow stairs once more. But they are probably looking to get rid of Cobra once more on these yellow stairs. Maybe do a double push like the last time. That was perfectly timed and very well done. You see ADS is being burned out by flashes. A grenade comes through, I think, but it looks like it will not take out Cobra whatsoever. So this is kind of the same push from OTF, and I wonder if essentially how they're going to change up and deal with this push from West Side. Slippery's playing below once more. He was dealt with last time. I think the first time they played it, I think it was different. Like I think it was Kardama last time who was playing aggressive. So Slippery now instead with the C4 from below could be what they need to start us off and get that first kill.
Still trying to go for a couple of these gunfights. Excuse the stream issues that we're having here. But it looks like it should be good right now. We got a minute 30 off of that clock, and you're still looking for some openings here. Murdy just defending this window. They clearly know where this push is going to be coming from. They pop the first Toxic Babe to make sure that they can't enter for a few more seconds here. That's going to waste a couple off of the clock. You're now looking to get in on these windows again. Nobody down from either side. So this has been a long time before we've seen an actual kill come out. There's the first one. Just as I'm talking, aim's been fantastic on the entry so far in this matchup. Finds Slippery downstairs on that first floor. And my stream's going to buffer until we get back into things. That's nice to see. Cobra again going to be up against ZZ. Cobra wins the fight this time though. ZZ, the clutch master from the last round, not able to land anything. So we're back to an even man count. And we're back to 4-on-4.
Yep, Kardama though will find one on to aim, and Murdy's still around just waiting for someone to push through and try to go for a plant. Though I will say that I did get a buffer for a second there too.
Oh well, that's okay. I'm good for now. It's a 4-on-3. Favoring the defenders, 35 seconds on that clock. This is getting really bad, and it can be difficult to get into these windows, especially if the defenders are in the positions where they want to be, and with 4 alive, they should be. There've been some mixed up positions before, but no, Murdy's in the best position he can be. That shotgun just watching the window. Glow Moji falls somewhere else on the map. Here comes the rappel in. No chance at all. Gets shut down by Murdy. Last player left alive is Shrines. He's got a very low chance of winning this out. He needs to go for kills. He knows that, but the defenders know it as well. They're just going to be running away. He gets not even one. Just backs off, and he peeks it just for some bad manner as Yoji comes around with a headshot, and Senshi take round number 6, putting themselves up 4-2.
So ending on 4-2 is pretty geared here for Senshi. These are the bans leaving losing both Maestro and Echo and still being able to play very well on these defense rounds. And we'll switch off and we'll see how exactly OTF defend their sites. As we go downstairs first, Cafeteria and Garage and Sentry and their attacks, they need to do plays very aggressively. We've seen Sentry, if you watch before, Sentry's pretty good on their attacks, though we'll see a gridlock on the board too from Cardama, which is definitely something you need for it to deal with that, maybe that aggression, especially because you're playing upstairs and you're trying to take press room.
It makes sense, I would say. With the half swap, we're gonna move over to Cafeteria Garage. Ooh, the Caveira Shrine. Stick it.
Yeah, almost.
Now I'm sad. All right, Shrine's fine. He's gonna go with the Valkyrie, probably the better pick. I mean, Caveira is one of the worst operators. She's a lot of fun and she can make some hype plays, but not very consistent to say the least. And the Valkyrie is a pretty important operator on a lot of these matches as well. So not surprising that she's going to get brought on out. There is an IQ on the other side, so there is some counterplay available to the attackers. It's not like this IQ is going to, or that this Valkyrie is going to be the most necessary of all things, but it's fine. Not a bad operator to bring. Based on these reinforcements, it looks to me like we are going to be seeing a hold more similar to round number 4 than what we saw from round number 1. That is, we are going to have more players playing inside of the bathroom rather than just being a 5-man in the basement type hold. I like that a little bit better. Whether they'll put 2 in here, just like Senshi did, or whether they'll leave just 1, that is yet to be seen. But for now, it looks like this is going to be your standard setup with 1 guy in the bathroom.
It looks like they're trying to play inside press room, use that aggression, or use that vertical play to their own to deal with any kind of push into the site. As we'll see them start to drone out and see what's going on. And so
sorry, we're all good. Yeah, 30 seconds in. Wow, look at these actually Habana pellets being utilized really, really well. There's no anti-hard destruction except for the mutes, and that was clearly either put all on the bathroom or just dealt with. Probably there was something down there, but with the mute being inside the bathroom, it's going to be tough. No, sorry, he's not in the bathroom, but not being by the wall, it's going to be tough to juggle those. It's actually ZZ who's playing up top, and he's just in piano at the moment, so he's not in a position to be protected by those bathroom walls that have been reinforced. He can move over there when he needs to. That's going to be an interesting frag coming out from Slippery with the grenade onto ZZ. Puts the smoke off of the board, so clearly maybe should have been playing a little bit deeper in those inside of the bathroom, but he gets caught out, and that's the one roamer off of the board for OTF. So now you find yourselves in a player disadvantage, and it's a smoke off the board. This is the big downside of playing your smoke so aggressively, is when he goes down without really getting anything, without using those toxic babes, it's a lot of utility that you've just wasted from OTF.
Yeah, that's losing your smoke so early. I know he was playing vertically, he was trying to deal with any pushing into garage, but that's not really one person want to lose so early on, especially to a grenade coming through the windows. As there's Timsy get a C4 onto Yoji. Aimer gets one onto Slippery though, so it's pushed into garage. Is not working out here for the side of Senshi as Global. Just with the Cobra, and that's a 4v2, and they're really being thwarted every single angle as they walk in through those holes made by the ex-Kairos, and Tim's get a shotgun playing aggressive. Sees one, but won't be the shots. He'll make sure they'll know he's in pipes now. So this just comes down to Murdy and Cardama trying to make something out of it at this point, because now it's a 4v2 with 49 seconds. Not a lot you really can do here.
Well, Murdy finds 1, so that's something. Going down onto aim. A little bit closer to equalizing that man count. You've still got him up top too. Clearly not all that concerned by the time that's continuously ticking down above him. Cardama's working his way down the yellow stairs, protected by those track stingers, but again, he needs to get down there. At least his teammate does. Here comes Murdy holding that diffuser. It's going to be a yellow push. This is tough for Shrines, watching the angle like a hawk, ready for them to move down this position. They really can't go anywhere else unless they rotate through the garage. That is what Murdy's going to do. Not a bad play, but it's going to waste a ton of time, which means that he's really got to get this plant down ASAP, and Shrines has rotated too, reading the position, but laying down behind the body, it's not enough. Shrines and Glowmoji get one apiece, and OTF get the round because of it. Really interesting how that one played out. Shrines just caught him at the last second. Unlucky that the Habana didn't win that.
I wasn't sure. I wonder if the body took any of those bullets too, because that's really unfortunate.
You'd assume so, right? Oh man,
I don't know, because it's client side, so maybe we're seeing something that they're not seeing too as well. So I don't actually know if he saw if he even saw that, Murdy even saw that body like we saw it on the inside that hole like that. But either way, it was a good read in a sense to try and push through, knowing that they were able to deal with the one person on the vertical play, which was the smoke upstairs. But at that point, even when once they pushed through those X-Kairos holes, they still had to deal with the defenders inside garage, and they lost most of those fights.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
Still, though, that's
defused
only
by
the first
attackers.
round of the second half, and it is on your primary bomb site. I don't think Senshi has to be too worried about it, despite the fact that they had a lot of players go down in that early round, and then didn't really have enough for the for the push. Only having 2 to get on in really hurt them. As the defenders, it can kind of be like more okay to lose players than on the attack, especially on a bomb site like the basement of Consulate, because you don't have a ton of angles to watch. As long as you have the info as where they're coming in from, you don't need 5 players to watch 5 different angles. You can have 3 and basically have all of your bases covered. Whereas if you're on the attack, you know, you can only push from 2 different ways. Things get very, very difficult when you have a player disadvantage. And of course, if one player goes down, if he's holding the diffuser, well, it doesn't really matter what happens to the rest of the map. You can't plant that diffuser and you're going to lose the round. So, alright, that's going to be 1 round in favor of OTF. We'll move past it now as we look towards round number 8. Going to be on that top floor. So again, this was one we saw quite a lot in the first half. We saw it 3 times, won by the defenders twice. So it did seem to prove to be pretty strong. But again, that second round was very, very close and only came down to a clutch. Look at ZZ's positioning. He just threw out a black eye, and he could go out for a jump out if he sees somebody that he wants to target. Doesn't look like there's anybody there. Slippery perhaps, but he's way on the other side of the building. He'll get into the offices, and not a big deal from him.
Yeah, this is definitely a change up in strategy. It looks like essentially are more fond of taking control admin, going for the east side take instead and pushing through. They're trying to see if anybody's going below as well. You see Kardama on the gridlock looking to stop any kind of rotation up these stairs. And you'll see also, I think Slippery also made a hole watching the stairs coming up from downstairs from the kitchen side. And you'll see now Habana working over Murdy to open up the holes into Projector to deal with Timsy, who's playing in there. There's no mute, there's no any hard breach denial for the moment, so Timsy's gonna have to move away or at least find a different angle to hold inside of Projector. And this is kind of the setup here from Senshi as they drone out and they figure where everybody is, and they make their way through into Projector to go for that plant.
Walls being opened up by the Habana, so that's going to force a couple of these defenders out of the positions that they want to be playing in. Going to make that Projector a little bit easier to waltz into, a little bit easier to repel into as well. There's a camera being spotted out by the IQ. Really well done by Cobra to be able to get that bit of information off of the board. Timsy's finding drones, so it's a lot of counter info that's happening right now. That Valcam actually still up. Cobra not in a position to take it down. Perhaps with this frag grenade, if they want to use that utility just to get a camera that's not seeing a whole lot right now, maybe they don't want to, and that's a pretty fair opinion too. But still watching the angle to be ensured that nobody is hiding inside a Projector. Timsy was there, but at the moment he's backed off. Very smartly so. Murdy is in this position where he's going for the plant, though. This is pretty huge. There goes a Toxic Babe, but it's way too late. He should be able to get this down. No, at the last second, Timsy with the shot. Oh, that was so close to being down.
What a great shot from Timsy to deal with SB11 to deal with Murdy, going for that sneak plant behind the bomb chassis. So now it's just kind of going through, but a long wing angle from Bathroom. He's trying to take a Cobra, and now it's a 3v5 as the attackers are trying to really go for that quick push. Slippy does get Shrines though, that Bathroom, so they goes that long angle from the dock. 1 ACOG off the board. Don't have to deal with as much though, but still have to deal with the smoke. I don't know if Timsy has how many coaches he has left. He might have 3 smoke cannons still on the board, and that could be a lot of time. He has to wait. 1 comes out through. And just wasting more time as possible. Timsy, though, will get the headshot on the Slippery. Kardama gets aimed, though, coming behind inside of console. And so Kardama, let's say, ZZ hits 1, downs Yoji, and he finishes off Kardama as well. And that will be OTF take another round and ties up 4-4 at round 8.
So that's 2 rounds in a row coming out from OTF to tie us up at a 4-4 scoreline. And they've been 2 strong rounds as well. They haven't really needed to clutch. I think in that round in particular, the ability to back off once that Projector got opened up. They weren't afraid to get out of there. Of course, Timsy, some really fantastic smoke play to stop that. If he is a millisecond later with that shot onto Murdy, then that is an entirely different round, and we probably see it go the way of Senshi. Just that split-second decision-making. Good for him to, first of all, realize that his Toxic Babe is not going to be enough, and then hit the shot somehow through all the clutter and be able to take down the very last player, or the very first kill, actually, going their way. So no, that was an excellent defense. I liked the backup positioning in particular coming out. And then once the round got a little bit more underway, those dying seconds, the gunfights got a little bit more scattered as they tend to do, but it was still going to be Senshi who did fall at the end of it. We now move bomb sites once again. We're going to go lobby press room, so neither team's really trying to go to the split site. I think that's fair. Teams are experimenting with it more, but it still hasn't really come into its own yet.
Yeah, so split side is very difficult to hold. Most people, I think the one strategy we see for split side is holding from below with the C4 or with the mirror as well, because you put mirrors on blue hall, or you put them inside of the closet pointing towards spiral stairs. Either way, it's not a lot you can do. You just have to kind of shotgun from below and make sure, because holding from above is very difficult because there's only so many different you can do manpower wise. So I see why people don't play split side. Either way, this is a site that we saw essentially lose on their defense, so they're trying to probably do the same and keep themselves, in check, in step with the side of OTF here. As you see, three people actually above, ZZ, Team Z, and Glomoji as well, trying to hold upstairs as long as possible. Last time we had the Senshi, they conceded upstairs too quickly, which allowed for OTF to really accumulate their push and, hold the angles they need to and really go for that push and able to execute and plant the diffuser at the lobby. So hopefully we can see Senshi maybe do the same, or we see OTF stop that happening.
It has been a lot of pressure being placed by the defenders on this top floor. You can tell OTF don't want to give this up for free. Cobra and Glomoji gonna maybe find themselves facing off soon. Of course, north-south divide a bit there. Glomoji inside of the projector looking to see if he can find somebody. Slippery sees his own teammate just running right on past him. So there is some top floor control definitely in control of Senshi, but they need to find a little bit more, and they're actually going to waste some X-Kairos on this top floor. I think that's fair just because you don't need a ton on the first floor onto the bomb site. So it's fine to use a little bit, and the second that those got brought out, the defender was more than happy to just run on out. Glomoji said no thank you, and he got out of there. Still, you have ZZ and Timsy holding from that top floor, so they're going to be a threat for a little bit longer in this round, but you've at least dealt with one of those roamers.
So it looks like Timsy's maybe the first one to deal with him. I think a smoke's been thrown out, though. It looks like to maybe deal with pushing into projector. A grenade comes through, and he peek at the same time. Slippery will take him down with the SPG-11, drop from one of the Valkyrie. Cobra gets aimed, though, so ZZ drops down. He saves his life, but AIM unfortunately would not be able to leave upstairs with his life. So that's 3v5 with a minute and 14. There's still a lot of time here for Senshi to really open the floor up and find any anchors, maybe find something in the bathroom or in the lobby as well. So if they want to smoke it out and try to go for the same plant we saw from OTF, they could do as well, as they now have top floor control.
The clear of the roamers was successful. Now you can focus on getting this plant down. When we saw it happening from OTF, they did like to get the plant down just in front of this front door. Now there is a great Valkyrie cam being played by ZZ, so they are going to have some intel if the plant goes in that way, but it's not, of course, going to be enough to stop it on its own. There is going to need to be a gun sent that direction. With only 3 players alive, it's going to be quite risky. It's almost do or die if you lose your life here. It looks like it'll be Shrine to maybe test it out. I mean, he's inside of the bathroom, so in position to do so. Murdy knows he's being watched. That Valkyrie cam ever present. He goes deep for this plant. I kind of like that. That's going to be unexpected. The smoke bolts, Cloud Division, that's going to help them out a lot more. And there goes the plan. This time it's not too late. Yoji falls, but that's okay. He wasn't the one planting. You've got 3 defenders. ZZ from up top. Oh, there's an engagement that Slippery's not ready for. He gets slipped down to death, and Kardama finds the return kill onto ZZ. It's going to be Shrines and Glow Emoji to try to pull this one back, but again, this bomb site's so difficult to retake. Kardama sitting way in the back lines. He's going to have to be found. Glow Emoji's still creeping down from up top, so these players so far away from the diffuser, gotta go through a lot of these track stingers as well, so there's so much in the way of the defenders. Glomoji doesn't get stopped. He hits the shot onto Murdy, and actually this is doable. He's gonna stick it, but from behind it's not enough. Senshi win the round. Kardama 2 huge frags to end it, and that was another very close one that slips in the favor of Senshi.
That was so close. He was like a second away from counter defusing that. On top of Glomoji taking 4 kills for the round. Dealing with the player upstairs with that upstairs control was the Sledge. I forget who player it was, but Sledge upstairs, holding upstairs above. He dealt with him and goes downstairs, deals with the player on spiral stairs, deals with the player outside, and then can't take the shots on the last player to go for that. I think it was almost a 4K, or was it ace, something like that at that point? But either way, it was ridiculous. I think it's a 3K actually, almost a 4K.
Yeah, I believe so.
But still.
Very impressive, to say the least. The stats on your scoreboard, again, not going to be complete, so don't put too much stock in them. We did lose the 4 rounds for like, oh, these guys kind of suck. Well, it's just because we lost 4 rounds of stats. There should be higher numbers across the board, and it's tough to read into them when you have a rehost. Going back down to Cafeteria Garage, as we have completed a full cycle of sites. Probably going to see a similar thing. Usually teams bring the Mira if it's available and if they're holding inside of the bathroom. Of course, when Senshi were holding this bomb site and they were holding the bathroom, they liked the Mira. Not so from OTF. I think that's fine. It's just playstyle differences, but it does help you out with knowing who's pushing you and when. Last time again though, ZZ was kind of just not in the bathroom. He was playing in piano a lot. Had that bathroom for a fallback, but never ended up using it. I hope we see ZZ staying inside of the bathroom a little bit longer, because again, he died pretty early the last time they defended this, and it didn't do him any favors.
Yeah, it's funny. Even with the amount of like denial of information, you see both Mozzie and Mute being played. Tim Z placing his Mute jammers on top of like the fridge so they can't jump stairs. Even though they had all of this denial of information, they still were able to grenade ZZ inside of press, which is fantastic from the side of Cardama, or Slippery, I think it was before he did it. So let's see if there's something they can do the same, because I know ZZ's trying to play vertically, use the smokes to deal with anybody pushing through. Even though last time they didn't need to do that, because they still had to win the gunfights when they push through Garage anyway. As you'll see Murray now begin to open the wall. There is no Harbish now besides maybe a Mute jammer in the way. So the wall will be opened up in the first 40 seconds. And now this is where Strides is actually playing Pulse this time. I don't think he plays Pulse last time, actually. I can't remember, actually.
He was. Not super clear on that either, but either way, that's a very fast garage wall being opened up. You do still have ZZ up on that top floor. He is inside a bathroom this time, so he's taken my advice. He's decided to play a little bit more passively, and I think that is the best way to play a roamer on this site. Just put him in the bathroom, let him play passive. If the attackers ignore him, then that's fine. He can come in for a late flank. If they don't, then they're probably going to have to waste a lot of resources to get him out of there, and there's a good chance he survives as well. You've got some information from both teams. Of course, that drone did have some eyes on the bathroom, so they were waiting for ZZ to peek out if he was going to do so, but he hasn't, which again I like. Also the defenders with those Valkyrie cams and with the pulse scanner, you've got a lot of insight there. I don't believe any drones have been captured by the pests, but certainly that is an option. ZZ has now creeped his way into antechamber. Again, not too far off, and AIM actually rotated all the way to the top floor. He could be a very deadly threat, as we still have no kills. As I say it, another grenade falls ZZ. That's the same way he died last time. And again, it's because he left his fortress of that bathroom.
Dude, Slippery's got some accuracy, goddamn.
No doubt. That was an insane throw.
That is insane. Even though like the amount of information now, he still gets his grenades off, and so AIM's only one offsite at the moment. ZZ's been taken care of, so there's also a lot of information coming from Shrines though. This is why Pulse is pretty important here too. So they can, even though they don't have Maestro, they don't have maybe Maestro Echo to deal with any information, and those maybe those black guys can be easily dealt with by IQ of Cobra. These will say that there goes a down for Cardama. Oyoji gets Timsy though, and Shrines with the C4 will take a Slippery. So this is where the information comes into play. But Murray's now inside of taking out Shrines. Cobra gets Sklomoji, and this is kind of that push on the site. Now that's what's gonna be AIM, who comes down the stairs, and Yoji will take him out. But he does take a Cardama, but it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of pad the stats.
I'm not sure if Senshi knew that AIM was like not on site at all, but whether they knew it or not, they did a good job of taking advantage of it. You've gotten one kill up top, and there's another player who's roaming all the way on the second floor. He can't help his teammate. You can just run into that bomb site 5-on-3 and start getting the frags. That's exactly what they did, especially with that wall open for so long. Your drones around the map, you can feel pretty safe if you've got good comms between your teammates. So that was really smartly played by Senshi. And again, it might have just been luck that AIM was so far off of the bomb site that he wasn't really able to contribute to that fight. But either way, I think credit to Senshi to being able to get into that bomb site so efficiently so that AIM didn't have time to rotate down and help out his squad. Really well executed to get that match point under their belt.
Yeah, it was interesting too because they had a lot. They had built Mute and Mozzie, but they used it for like upstairs, used it for like maybe the Romans of ZZ upstairs, but they couldn't help and deal with how much they drone the players on site. You saw Murdy droning out both Mozzie and Pulse, who were in the back, and they figured, I don't know if they knew the aim was offsite, but they knew there's only a few players on site to deal with them. They droned out quite heavily. They knew what they were doing, and it was just a great execution from Senshi. And so now on match point, we're gonna see a retry here from OTF. Now they're back to the wall though. They need to figure out something different. They need to not lose ZZ every single time to a grenade.
I mean, yeah, he's maybe not the player to be playing up top here. I don't know if it's just he wants to peek those windows, if he doesn't think they have intel on him, because he's been caught up by drones, I believe, both times. Certainly that second time, he was very much his position was given away by the attackers, so he just needs to play that more passively, or somebody else needs to do it for him, because he is, again, doing his team no favors. Mentioned it before that last round, he needs to not do that, and he sort of listened to me. He got better at it, but it wasn't meant to be, I suppose. As for the rest of this defense, it seems like it's pretty much the same. I also don't want to see AIM going for that late of a far rotate. He needs to come in sooner because it's been shown pretty clearly by Senshi that they're willing to get into that bomb site, even with like 30-45 seconds on that clock. At the moment, he's downstairs, but he has that opportunity to roam. I'm not saying don't roam, don't do a late flank, but just maybe make it a little bit sooner that you come back from that, if you're going to attempt something like that. But otherwise, again, it's basically just keep those roamers alive. And it seems like so far ZZ has been good at staying inside. And from what we've seen, the attackers don't have a good drone on him yet. So it's a much better start from ZZ.
Oh, it's a bit different this time. Essentially, actually looking to roam clear upstairs and actually go for maybe a vertical play onto the player of ZZ who's in bathroom now. Because ZZ now is being more protective. He's trying to stay alive longer than he is before. But now we see Senshi taking a different attempt at it. You see Slippery already opening up the top of the ceiling. They're trying to find an angle on ZZ who's in bathroom. ZZ at this point is going to leave with his life. So at least now ZZ's alive. He will not get killed out. But now top floor control is in the favor of Senshi, which they can use to advantage, trying to stop these anchors. It is a bit of a change too. You'll see at least there is no pulse though, so they really can't. They can use maybe the black guys instead of pressing to C4 from below, but there's no cardiac sensor to really help them out to get that on the spot C4 if they want to do that. We'll see if Slipper uses that sledgehammer to the full extent to deal with people playing behind white van or playing in this area.
Ooh, there's the drones finding... No, never mind, that's his teammate, so that's not going to be anything. Looks like ZZ was able to get back down, so that's fine. The smoke has dealt a lot of time for his team, so they've managed to save a lot of that. Again, there's still that rotate potential from the attackers, but you've got attackers, or from the defenders, I should say. You've got attackers on every single floor, though, so you need to be worried about that if you're going for a late roam. Hopefully you get this the surprise on them rather than the other way around. Vertical control all in the favor of Senshi, and again, they're looking for that win. If they take this round, that will be the end of the game, and they're taking things slowly, too. Still 0 players have gone down inside of the round. Cobra inside of the bathroom is a strong position for the attackers to have. It's a long-range engagement with an SMG-11. It does win it, though, despite the fact that's a pretty short-range gun. Going to be Timsy out of this round and perhaps out of the match. You got to find 4 more if you want to be able to take that first-place spot inside of these qualifiers. 2 hurt players in the attack, though, so not undoable from the defense, especially with these toxic babes. There goes the last one, though, so they're not going to be able to claim anything unless somebody blindly runs into that. Shouldn't be a problem. Yoji finds his second kill. He's been huge. There goes the C4, though, and now the tides turn. All the kills going up in the favor of PG. That's just their tag. That's going to be OTF. Coming around still, it's just Yoji left alive, and he just needs to survive, but no. OTF win it off of time. Ooh, that was a bit of a hectic final round there. They're going to keep themselves alive.
That was what could have been a final round, but again, Senshi this time not leading any leading kills. They weren't able to get any opening frags like on ZZ, so that was a lot of not only were the toxic cannons available to deal with any of the defenders, but also really good shots from ZZ to deal with and just do a damage and cause them to be at 20 HP for like the thermite of, I think it was Murdy or Yoji who was on thermite, who had 20 HP at that point, and so did Cobra who was on IQ. So it's like that person being alive made that much of a difference here for OTF on this round. That's kind of a big thing, and really more than anything, they were able to deal with them as they pushed through. And even though, like, dude, Yoji getting 2 kills, though. He almost was trying to push in their favor, but time was not in their favor at all.
So top floors will really end out the regular time. Again, 6-5. We're either going to see an overtime, or we are going to see a 7-5 victory go the way of Senshi. Seems like we've only gotten close rounds. At least I have, at least I have inside of these qualifiers. It's been close game after close game after close game, and you love to see it, particularly when you're up with the current best 2 teams in the qualifier, at least the teams that are performing the best right now. You'd hope they would put up a good show against one another, and that's exactly what this has been. Regardless of who wins this, I think both of these teams are going to be strong contenders for Challenger League season number 11. And again, there's going to be 5 or 6 of those open slots, so it's not like only one of these teams can make it, but there's tough competition throughout the qualifiers, so it's not going to be a lock for either of these squads. It's going to be a lot of fighting going on over the rest of the next 4 weeks after today ends. So there's still so much to play for, but this match, one of the most important that these 2 teams will find themselves in. They're going to be approaching the building as, again, we get into the action phase of 12th one of the match.
So last time we had OTF defend this site, we saw Senshi, go from admin, try and push into site. You saw the Murdy on the Habana trying to push through and go for a plant after pushing Timsy out by opening up the bottom of the wall with the X-Kairos. But unfortunately, fortunately for Timsy, he was able to get a shot onto Murdy and deal with him before he get the plant down. At that point, just the angles held by the defense, they definitely knew how to defend the site when they pushed from admin into site, and they just held their angles well and made their gunfights and won them all pretty much. So we'll see exactly what they do differently for Sentry if they're going to try and find a different angle or find a different way to deal with these players in their anchor spots.
Starting to open things up from admin, as we were talking about. This is going to be a different take from what we saw being utilized by OTF. They focused on those windows quite a bit. Now we're coming in through the admin office. So it's a different way to try to take onto this bomb site. Timsy's struggling with these drones a little bit, uncharacteristic of him. So that's something you're worried about. Perhaps if this information continues going in favor of the attackers, you could be about to lose the matchup. Timsy's been very good in this position before, and he will get the drone in that situation. So it's not all lost for him. The attackers have gotten a lot of ground. Murdy inside of the front office is looking in towards the bomb site. He does have that diffuser, so he can go for a plant. Looks like it's not going to be a repelling from the projector windows, as we've seen quite often in this match, or in this map before. You do have somebody playing on those windows. Of course, Yoji outside of there, ready for somebody to peek it. But again, Timsy's been pretty passive here, so it's probably not going to be too big of an issue. Slippery throws in a grenade that's only going to get a little bit of utility. Not going to find any kills with it. Murdy's just itching to go in and get that plant down, but he's got to watch out for this SMG-11.
Yeah, just like last time, they seem to be going for that same quick plant where Murdy's going to rush in and go behind the bomb tracing plant. But hopefully they maybe use the tracks of Gridlock here from Yoji to stop Timsy from giving an angle on him. He's going to rush in and actually plant in the corner instead, but a smoke comes out in the perfect spot from Timsy to stop Murdy from planting. Murdy moves to the other corner, but a C4 from below from ZZ will take him out. Kardama gets slow emoji though at a different angle. Now it's down to a 4v4 with 30 seconds left to go. They're trying to plant again. Cobra goes for the second plant. And another smokes come up from Timsy again. Timsy is perfectly timing these smokes and dealing with any plants coming down. Shrines gets Cobra and stops the second planter. Now down to just a 3v4 with 70 seconds left to go. There's going to be a rush from Slippery. Take out Shrines. Aim does the refrag on a Slippery though. So now it's just Yoji and Kardama. And they're just really trying to push their way through. But these anchor positions are so very strong. Kardama's on the window of waiting room. Yoji's in sight with the diffuser. But I don't know if... Oh, but Timsy has no smokes left. And so he's just going to have a shotgun. He's going to stop the plant anyway.
Oh, excellent objective play coming out from Timsy and ZZ as well. Those Toxic Babes, you mentioned it, but they were absolutely perfect coming out at the clutch moments to stop the plants, and always in the right positions too. I don't know how he constantly knew where the plant was coming down, but he always seemed to know where it was at. And then the C4 from ZZ to deny the plant the very first time was absolutely instrumental as well. They weren't winning every single gunfight, but they were always focused on where that diffuser was going down and constantly stopping it from actually getting planted. Really well done from the defenders of OTF. And now we head to overtime. They're going to get defense again to start things off in round number 13. We'll switch, of course, next round and then switch for round 15 if we need it. All the way, what else would it be for the very last match to decide who's going to be the final team undefeated in this open qualifier?
Yeah, definitely. It's been such a back and forth, but this has been quite the defense from both teams. And OTF, Timsy, though, we can see why Timsy was picked up to play tip for TSM during USN because, man, he is quite the smoke. My God.
He's been fantastic.
Yeah, that was on spot. Every single toxic canister from him was on the spot, moved Murdy, moved Cobra every single time. It's just that was unreal in a sense from Timsy. Either way, we go upstairs once more from OTF. They're going to retry this site now in OT, and they're going to put themselves in lead if they can play it just like they did here. Again, like you said before, they win all the gunfights, but every single time they went for a plant, they denied it every single time, and that is what is so spectacular from OTF.
I definitely agree with coming back to this bomb site, right? You just won it the last round. Well, hey, overtime rules say we can play it again. So let's go ahead and do that. I doubt we're going to see any changes coming out from OTF. It's really going to be on Senshi. How do we get this diffuser to get planted? Because the utility usage was so good from OTF in the last round. You've got to find a way to deal with that. Perhaps you want to go downstairs and try to find ZZ so he can't hit you with a C4. Perhaps you're bringing in some more of those EMP grenades to deal with the cameras that might be watching you as you go for those plants. Perhaps you just really want to get an aggressive pick onto Timsy. That wouldn't be a bad move because, again, he's been so powerful on that smoke. You can see on the outlines right now, the attackers can't through their drones, but there is going to be a player, it looked like Yoji, roaming down inside of the basement. So there's going to be that constant threat on the attackers from somebody coming in through the flank behind, even if they don't know it.
Yeah, it looks like he also has a C4 too. He's playing the Mozzie downstairs, so they need to be wary of that getting that C4. You saw some ZZ was the one with the C4 that denied the plant in the first place too from Murdy. So I feel like definitely Senshi needs to put their attention to that and stop that from happening. Maybe a player watch from main stair or main hallway, maybe from circle desk. We'll see exactly how it goes through. As they're doing the same kind of push, there is nothing changed. They're not going for a west side take either. It really seems to be just a repeat from Senshi. I'm kind of scared to see how it turns out the second time around, because the first time wasn't as close, but the second attempt was just a blowout from just how well Timsy played. So you see Glomoji here downstairs in the bathroom. Yoji looks like he's trying to peek from outside in those windows and maybe deny that C4.
The action was all happening in the last couple seconds of the last round, but it was really the lead up that mattered. There hasn't been a lot of that anti-utility coming out from the attackers. They haven't done a lot to worry about those roamers. They haven't done a lot to waste those toxic babes. There's still going to be 3 in the pocket of Timsy, and when they go for this plant, I am worried that the same thing's going to happen. There's a little bit more pressure on him in the waiting room, though, so he's going to have to play it more passively than he did in round number 12. That's some good strategies coming out from the attackers of Senshi, but it's so late. That helps them with Glow Emoji getting denied on his jump out, but Yoji, you're going to need a little bit more than that. That was an expendable player. He's not the one that's been stopping you. That's a great clutch to be able to shoot that from going off. They can now start off the plant. The smoke grenade being in favor of the attackers. Going to block off Timsy's view. Shrines is finding a kill, but I'm not sure it's going to matter too much. That plant is down. He dies eventually from Timsy's SMG-11, but he's not fast enough this time, and this plant going down could make all the difference. You've still got 3 players, and they're just being droned in. They know that they don't have to be super aggressive. Yoji finds his second kill of the round. 3-on-3 now finds our score line. Shrines knows somebody's on the balcony, but Yoji's hit the deck. He can't be found. Here comes ZZ with the disable. He's been buffed up by his Doc as well. Aim is over here getting killed. There goes the Doc as I was mentioning him. Yoji gets the triple. He needs to stop this disable. He can't do it. The triple from Aim at the last second as OTF get that disable. They will get another successful defense on the top floor and push themselves to overtime match point.
My God. I will give it this entry a great adaptation to try and deal with Timsy, who was the mainstay, the reason why they lost the round before that. But unfortunately, in that post situation, get they plant down. It was a 3v3 actually in a sense because Yoji got the kill there. That post situation, they could not win the gunfights on a gun's the aggressive plays of OTF at that point, and just wow, it was so close for him to get Yoji get that kill onto the counter diffuser of ZZ. But unfortunately, because that desk was still there and still available, or still still full, they can't see ZZ. They were just pre-firing, thinking someone's defusing, but there's no actual drones, no information for them. And my God, what good work from the defense to maybe even kind of bait it out, thinking that the Doc was the one who was counter defusing, but it was actually ZZ playing the Valk from next to him was actually counter defusing.
So after that explosive round, we will swap sides and move to the basement, as it seems like Senshi want to defend on that bottom floor. They've lost 3 rounds in a row, and that is the longest streak that we've seen so far in this matchup. They're going to have to come back from that. Get out of that mental state that they might be feeling right now. Like, just can't find that last round that they've needed for so long. Of course, they were up 6-4 already on match point. They have to get back to that match point now. They've lost their match point they had since going into overtime. They got to get it, and then they got to, of course, capitalize off of it as well. Gonna be hard. Not impossible, but definitely not easy. They go downstairs as well, this being a bomb site where they played it twice, they won it twice, they were strong on it, so the stats seem to work out for them. But again, for me, it's all going to be about that mental state coming into round number 14, back against the wall. It's always going to be tough.
Definitely agreed. We'll see exactly how OTF plays out. They're definitely ones feeling right now, so they're going to try and go for roam clear. It seems like they're going to go upstairs to admin and start for a top floor clear. As you see, both Kardama and Cobra are actually playing aggressive this time, and I think before we've seen actually from Senshi they lose players early sometimes, which doesn't always get them a loss, but is also worrisome to see if these players get taken out. You have both Cobra and Kardama here, and you also have Slippery walking around with the cardiac sensor too, so in conjunction this could be really well if they use that cardiac sensor well. But also you have Shrines on the Jackal though, so they also could deter these roamers very easily. As you see a drone come down from below, the cardiac sensor does detect those two, and so Kardama looks like he's gonna drop from the top floor, being told that this plays an admin though, so they don't want to get aggressive quite yet. They're gonna see they're gonna return to site for the moment. Cobra's actually return to site too. Both, so all the members essentially have seemed to have abandoned their aggression on the first or second floor.
Yeah, it was a very quickly pulled back, aggressive stance coming out from the defense. They were very much on that first floor, and I think it's good to slow the attackers down, right? OTF took floor number 2 extremely quickly, but then they've kind of put the brakes on once they started to look at that floor number 1. ZZ is here now, but again, we're approaching that minute and a half mark, so it's totally fine. Oh, and that Jackal track was huge. The headshot onto Kardama. Coming back just thanks to the intel being gathered up by Shrines. Really well coordinated between those two players. And yeah, no hope for the Mozzie.
Yeah, that was perfectly timed, and that's also the reason why you don't want to let Buck have too much time to deal. You know, it's a skeleton key the floor and gain angles onto the defenders, angles on sight. But Slippery is also trying to go for a late flank. He's all the way upstairs for the moment. Did he get pinged actually? Was that him who got pinged?
Didn't see him get pinged, but there are people rotating up towards him. Yeah, it was him. So this is going to be... Oh, no, they don't know where he's at.
Oh,
and you're supposed to know that. Slippery is up here all by himself, and he's able to find that shot. That puts the player advantage
I think
even.
they pinged Cobra, actually.
Perhaps.
I think they pinged Cobra, actually.
Oh, man.
And Slippery was in conjunction with them. Perfectly timed. Maybe not on purpose, but still.
I mean, that's the baiting you can do. It totally could have been purpose. Slippery getting a kill onto ZZ, so that's going to be another one of those aggressive players down. And Cobra again with this flank. He's been huge so far. Slippery gets a triple kill, but is it going to matter because that plant is down. Shrines from up above. He hits him above. Going for the Goomba stomp, but it's not going to work. Now you're in a 2-on-1. Shrines on so little HP. Those stim pistols won't be going his way. He's still worried about people above him, but it's going to be coming out of the garage. Cobra knows that he's on very little HP. An impact grenade goes out, but he wins the gunfight with his... Oh, with this K1A, and that'll get the disable. It is going to be a tied matchup once again. 7-7 and overtime awaits. Or round 15.
We are going the mountain here, guys. Oh my god. My god. We are going all 15 rounds, but still, that was very much in the favor of the attack until Slippery was able to make his rotation upstairs, along with Cobra too, who also made his way upstairs, up these stairs. They did not have any kind of accountability or any kind of, I guess that's why, you know, Gridlock or Nomad's so important for these kind of situations, to deny or at least hinder the roamers from being able to do those late game flanks. But they pinged out Cobra, who's inside of admin, drops down the hatch. Slippery's playing inside a waiting room. They don't know he's playing there because, again, there's not a lot of drones. They probably don't place drones upstairs, thinking that it's at the bottom floor take. And so Slippery, unnoticed, takes one kill, takes a second kill on the drop down to deal with the Buck, who was with the skeleton key. And just really good flank from Senshi in the end game there. And now we go on to the last final round. But OTF, their defense has been very, very strong.
Cafeteria Garage will be where it all goes down. You look to the history of this bomb site. When OTF were defending, they successfully defended it twice. They failed it once, so this has not been their strongest bomb site. Again, they went to console office the very first time they could defend on overtime. They did really, really well there. Now they're coming back around to the basement. They're forced to change bomb sites. Haven't been too used to this. Their biggest flaw, in my opinion, has been ZZ going down early the first 2 times they defended this. Playing inside of the bathroom, but a lot more outside of the bathroom than I think he should have been. Playing inside a piano, catching those grenades. This time, or in the third round, he was successfully able to back off in time. So I'm hoping we see a similar thing from him there. Aim's aggression has also caused some problems for them, so hopefully he's a little bit more passive this round too. It seems like when they can contain themselves, contain their energy, this has been a bomb site that OCF have performed well on.
I definitely agree. Like, the one time they won this was when ZZ was alive. He was able to get great shots with SMG-11 from far from kitchen and outside garage. Also use those smokes to delay the push anyway, so they could go for their plants. So a really big way. We hope ZZ can stay alive this time. It's interesting too because Timsy's been showing very well on the smoke, but for this site specifically, they switched it off to ZZ as a smoke instead. I wonder exactly what the exact reason is, but either way, it's been worked out once out of 3 times, which is worrisome because this is the last round here for the team. Aim playing against look below view stairs, and they're trying to maybe replicate that same late game flank we saw from Senshi on their defense. As the walls will be opened up within the first 40 seconds. Again, very quick work here from Senshi. It's what you expect from their team. It's been fantastic.
Things slow down as that minute mark just gets passed. Still droning being done pretty well by these attackers. Looking into that wall right now. They haven't found anybody yet. Again, that passive play seems to be working pretty well from OTF. ZZ is in antechamber. No. Bad ZZ. Get back in the bathroom. I don't like it when you get aggressive. Thank you. He listens to me. Aim's going for a long flank, though. Oh, this could be bad. We've seen this not work for him before. if he's too late, that wall's already been opened up, so the potential is there from the attackers. If he doesn't do something and the attackers take advantage of this, this could be really, really devastating for his squad.
Yeah, last time they really took a lot of time here for him to drone out and see who's on site. AIM just opening windows. He's making a lot of noise, trying to find somebody, some kind of kill. And this is kind of the grenade comes through. It looks like hit by an ADS though, so they can't get the person behind the white van. This is the drone game. Vizenchi is really what exemplifies here. They're trying to make sure they go for a correct push. They're droning as much as they can. Damage the shrines and Timsy though on the backside as they're trying to make their way into sight, but they're not finding any picks though. So it seems as though Senshi are kind of at a wall right now, as they have no real leverage to go for this push. They is still black eyes on the board too to give information to the team if they do go for that, that rush as they've done before. And here's the smokes come through. Cobra gets one to ZZ though, so it's 4v5 now. It's actually again a smoke upstairs already gone. AIM's gonna have to go for the plant, but it's actually a push from Shrines to deal with Murdy who pushes through. AIM gets Cardama, Slippery kicks out Shrines. Glomoon takes a Slippery though, and a refrag is back and forth from both teams. And you go to the last 38 seconds, and this vertical play from AIM is perfect, but he's not making shots onto Cobra or Yoji who's pushing through. This is really big here for AIM now to come back to site before Glomodi gets killed. As they're pushing through, they may go for the plant or they may go for the kills.
Here comes those last few gunfights, 2-on-2. Yoji and Cobra trying to get into this. They already have the positioning. They get the first kill. They just need to find AIM. He's holding the long angle. Will it be enough? There's 12 seconds. He just needs to deny the time. One player's been down. Cobra can't pick him up. AIM gets the last shot. No TF. Win it in round 15. What an end to this game. They secure themselves the best placement in this open qualifier, at least for now. A hard-fought victory indeed, and well done to our victors, OTF.
AIM this time, my man made the kills he needed to do at the end there. Great work to AIM, and great work to overall to OTF. That was a fantastic showing to keep them in the lead. They're 7-0 now in this qualifier with 2 more rounds left.
Not a bad place to be. I mean, to be fair, 6-1's not a bad place to be either, but 7-0 is that's really impressive.
I think if you first place you get 100 points. I think if you're second place you get like 65. So that's a lot of points you lose actually. I think something like that.
Very true, very true. Yeah, it's the difference between those top seeds is quite a bit more than the difference between those bottom seeds. Right? Like if you get like 50th versus 49th, it's not going to make a difference. But first versus second versus third, that's where the differences really start to matter. So. Well done, well executed by that squad. That was a long game, of course. We're going to throw it to a quick break, and I do mean quick because the next round is about to get underway. So hopefully we can get this game wrapped up, submit it to ESL, and then that'll be it for us in this matchup. We'll head into the next game between who knows. Let us know in chat if you want to see any particular teams. We'll see you very, very shortly.
Silent in the dark, waiting for the spark. The wood soaked in the blood, their hands join in the mud. The ember gently glowed, the spark took to their clothes. The flames kept on rising higher. They stood in the fire, they burned with desire, love and emotion, they danced with devotion. They stood in the fire, they burned with desire, love and emotion, they danced with devotion. Stood in the fire. begin? Was their patience grows thinner, thinner than before? As they want even more, as they share in this fire. They stood in the fire, it burned with desire, in love and emotion. They danced with devotion. They stood in the fire, it burned with desire, in love and emotion. They danced with devotion. Stood in the fire, burned with desire, love and emotion, dance with devotion. Stood in the fire, burned with desire, love and emotion, dance with devotion. Stood in the fire.
Say the words, even if it hurts. We've been pretending nothing's wrong for far too long. too long. Say it out loud, like you really mean it now, 'cause this is the last time. We're at the crossroads, and I can't let it go. I try to make you stay, but you're already far away. We're at the crossroads, and I'll let it go. Now I know this much is true. I won't be running after you. Now I know this much is true. I won't be running after you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I told you it would be a short break, and I hope I didn't lie to you. We're coming into match number 8 of the first Open Qualifier. Match 2 of the night, of course, and we just had an insanely close match between OTF and Senshi. We're going to follow it up with Katsu 2 versus Bra. I would say these are two of the more well-known teams inside the qualifiers. Both squads have only one loss so far, so they're 6-1 right now. Should be a good matchup. Of course, still joined by Keg and Benny AU. Benny, how are you doing after that really long and exhausting match?
Oh, I was too hyped up, I guess. That was crazy. It was just how close a lot of those rounds were insane. And just the clutches from Senshi, the overall just great gameplay from OTF when it came to some of those late game plays. It's just how well it's the kind of plays you expect at this level, but you don't totally. You sometimes just surprised by. Sometimes you're surprised how well Timsy played that, or how well you saw ZZ play smoked at one round, or just really surprising in general from them. But anyway, we see Katsu and Bro play now, and hopefully keep seeing those great plays.
We load into Consulate once more, so I hope you like the French embassy, because we're headed back to this location once again, and we get into the operator bands once again, just like last time. Is there what'd you say?
I hope they're not the same.
Oh yeah, maybe we'll see an exact mirror. I mean, if we do see an exact mirror of the last game, at least it'll be a close game. And well, it's not going to be exactly the same. We do have different bands.
It's funny. It's funny. We didn't see Maverick played at all last game too, and he wasn't even banned even.
Yeah, it's a weird one for this map, in my opinion. I mean, typically you're going to be bringing more of a Thermite, more of a Hibana. Usually you don't see a lot of Maverick unless one of those two operators is banned out. So interesting that Maverick goes first.
Like Nomad and Capital made sense because tapped out crossbow, deadly as heck. Nomad, you want to stop them. You want to allow the defense to be aggressive and jump out. And so Nomad being banned out next makes sense. Maverick though, confusing me.
Certainly a little bit of a weird one, but hey, I mean, it just means that attackers are going to be all that more powerful in this matchup. Our first defender ban is going to be Valkyrie, so another different ban. However, unlike the first ban, we did see a lot of Valkyrie get played in that last matchup.
Oh yeah,
a lot of runouts because of it as well. But even just inside, there were some issues, and LeBron's already starting with the trash talk. I love it.
Well, it's like too, like even when they knew that they were going to push through garage like they did before, those black guys allowed them to be aggressive and make the plays, like Shrines coming through and getting the kill onto, I think it was Murdy pushing through and trying to go for a plant like it did before. So Valkyrie getting banned out make a lot of sense. Maestro that will be banned, not too crazy, but no echoes on the board. So now this is a very different play. IQ is going to be much more important in this play.
Yeah, of course. Capitao and Echo going to be the two operators we saw banned in the last match that didn't get banned here today. Mira, I think, is an interesting one to take a look at always when she's unbanned, if teams want to bring her or not. The last two teams we watched play were sort of wishy-washy. They sometimes did, they sometimes didn't. It looks like, at least for the very first round, Anthony wants to bring one out. And yeah, that's a very interesting sixth pick. Levron bringing out the Goyo wasn't played at all in the last game, but I think it's a very powerful operator, and teams are still kind of experimenting with how they want to use him.
Yeah, I think it's just a big thing is teams didn't want to use them correctly because, you know, if you don't use them correctly, it kind of becomes a waste. It's not only, well, one, they could also backfire, but two, it just becomes 3 shields that get destroyed. What else did they do at that point? Well, you could have brought, you know, they brought the bandit. You could have brought someone else who had the C4 and a similar playstyle at that point too. So I'm definitely interested to see if Bro have a specific thing in mind here for these Vulcan shields. Where are they going to place them? Are they going to try and put them maybe at a plant site and be able to try and detonate them? One thing too is interesting, if you had the Maestro cams, Evilize can't actually set those off, so maybe it's also a reason why they banned out Maestro too.
Yeah, Maestro and Goyo are a very powerful combination together, both because they have some utility that both require some soft destruction to be utilized effectively. So you got to use a lot of soft destruction if you're going to place the team with both, and also because, as you mentioned, you can set those off. There's a couple different ways I've seen like a Goyo get played as well. You can either play them like as a trap, you place one of those deployable shields somewhere the attackers are going to be, and then you can set them off and deal a bunch of damage. I've also seen them used as regular shields. You have to be careful that it's in a place where the attackers can't hit that big red box on the back, but if you can find a place where you know you're going to be safe from behind, then they work like very well as regular shields to boot. So yeah, I like Goyo a lot as an operator, to be honest. He is doing a bit of roaming at the very start of this matchup, and as we talked about the bathroom hold being big on this bomb site, it doesn't look like they're actually going to have anybody in there, and I don't believe that they reinforced it much either. So interesting that they won't be utilizing that strategy. That's something that a lot of teams do like to do. Instead, they're putting people in archives, which is kind of a weird thing.
Yeah, we saw the mirrors too, which is interesting. So they have one mirror here inside the small office you usually see, but they also have a mirror on the side of the hallway pointing towards garage too, which you've seen teams put here and there, but I don't know how exactly effective that mirror will be. And you see an angle here from Archives pointing to the window, jumping in the Visa, but I don't know if he's gonna jump to the window. You see one Goyo shield, a Vulcan shield, pointing to a spot where they plant in front of the garage, but 6 of this points already on yellow.
Looking around for these plays they could make. It's a lot of control being held on those top 2 floors, but again, there wasn't too much of a presence from the defenders. They've been mostly focused on just hunkering down. That's why the first half of this round has been pretty slow, so it's pretty much fine. We're going to start to open up these walls a little bit slow, but not too slow, I would say. It's not too big of an issue. They're going to get it opened up, and now you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, Jay, able to hit the C4 on a Noski. That's a great one to be able to land the shot, or land the throw onto. So really well executed. You've got that gridlock off of the board. She's a really good post-plan operator, too, so that's going to be a little bit help to you. Makarov evens the score line with Anthony falling. That's going to be the Mira off of the board. Utility's going to be down, so you're not too worried about it in that sense. But hey, that's something.
Trade for trade, you lose a C4 and you lose a good post situation operator like Gridlock, but there's another down. Looks like 6 can go down to Jay, who's playing on that pulse with the cardiac sensor, able to see what people are. So Arctic will finish off 6 down to a 3v3, and so Arctic's actually playing all the way upstairs. He's made his way to the top floor, and these are the late game fakes that are really unfortunate, or actually I want to say unfortunate, but unaccounted for. Those are the kind of players who could make a break to play if they make it back in time. If they, they jump down and they take out some of these operators. And there's one operator right there. He does not see him as he walks in the antechamber. It's going to be Buck of Makarov, and he sees him instead because he goes towards the stairs, and there goes Arctic. But yeah, Jay will take Oasis. So that's 14 seconds left. Yeah, Jay and Dot on the defense side, but that mirror, wow, was so very helpful for Dot, and yeah, Jay will finish on Makarov, and Bro will take the first round.
That devolved a little bit more than I think Bra were hoping for. Kind of messy. Again, I think those players inside of the archives tripped them up a little bit. Of course, getting that opening C4 kill, that was pretty influential, and just sort of messing up their whole flow. Took them a lot longer than after that to get down into the bomb site. Once they were there, kills were headed back and forth. Yeah, Jay and Makarov both ending that round with a 3-piece. So well done by both those two players, but in the end, that is going to be Bra to take the very first round. Again, we'd expect this to be a pretty close matchup between these two squads. These are going to be two of the teams who are 6-1 right now in the qualifiers, so They have clearly proven themselves already. They're both going to be forces, and now they're really battling it out for a huge or a bigger chunk of points inside of the very first qualifier. Again, it's very important to get those top couple spots because those are going to really help you out when you get to the end of these open qualifiers and start adding up your score to try to make it to the top 16.
Yeah, big thing too, if OTF loses their score and they're 7-1, whoever team wins this will tie with them. What's if they lose the next one, which I don't know who they're playing actually. Who are they playing even actually? I checked that. Results, they're playing, OTF is playing Amy's Army against Cancer.
All right. Interesting.
All right then, never mind. I don't know who that team is, but we'll see if they win it or not.
Good luck, Amy. Particularly against Cancer, because that's awful. I don't think anybody should.
Yeah, that's yeah. I don't know the team name, but either way, we're playing Lobby Impress. We're not gonna go upstairs to console. We're gonna be doing that first floor defense instead. They're gonna throw a little curveball, but either way, they're gonna be playing upstairs anyway too to defend against the verticality play.
They start to approach, and in terms of how they've started to hold this on the defensive side, it's interesting they brought so much hard anchor operators. You've got the smoke, you've got the mute, you've got the echo. Even the Legion can be a little bit more restrained of a roaming operator, so they seem like they want to kind of hold this one down. Probably going to be a bathroom focused hold, and that seems to be where we see players. It's also going to be a really heavy commitment to this top floor, and with Leveron in the basement, they've got all three of their floors covered. Interesting how spread apart they are on this defense. It could bite them, of course, if the attackers are coordinated enough to punish this, and that's huge. There's an opportunity for Subarctic, but just doesn't manage to hit the shots he needs to. One bullet lands from BB, but it's not going to deal enough damage to really do too much to him. Here comes a drone to eventually catch him off guard, and now there's going to be a lot of pressure placed on Subarctic. A grenade pushes him out of position, but he actually escapes. He gets back down to that first floor and no longer has to worry about people from that skylight if he doesn't want to.
Yeah, at this point, he's actually made his way down, and nobody's caught him on that rotate down the stairs, so he's looking for an angle to kill Habibi, who's watching down that skylight. But either way, looks like Katsu are trying to deal with these upstairs roamers first with Jaeger, but that's been successful so far. And now they can take bathroom though, because the Jaeger of Spartak is down. Actually, no, he's back up already at this point. So I don't know if they know he's actually still on the yellow stairs up that angle.
Again, it's all of these different like split attacks that are going on. You've got a guy in the basement, two people are dealing with him. You've got a guy on yellow stairs, you've got one guy dealing with him, and then you've got the main floor as well, which the planters are still trying to focus on. The attackers, I think, would be better suited if they try to bunch up. You see that now with a couple different players focusing on Leveron, but we're just about at that 1 minute mark. Leveron gets punished and he doesn't take anybody with him though. So the attackers, despite losing a lot of time to get just one roamer, they at least didn't lose any bodies. I still think that wasn't a terrible round from Leveron though, because he did waste so much time. And you've still got Subarctic up on that top floor, able to go for a late flank, still kind of roaming, and can come back to the bomb save if he needs to too. Dot is also like way up inside of the top floor bathroom. Dot Dash in a really powerful position. Habibi, there's not a lot he can do about it. He can't vault in. He's going to die. Dot Dash just cleaned up by Oasis, though, and Makarov finds Anthony. So now the kills are flooding in, and it's sort of just in the nick of time. You've got 33 seconds on that clock. Subarctic coming down the staircase will find Makarov. Not too bad, but at the top of the staircase, Habibi will be waiting for him. Now that leaves Yaj alone in a 1-on-4. He turns his back at almost the worst possible moment. He comes back into Zulu, but he gets shut down. Habibi is there to land the shot, and Katsu tie things up 1-1.
That was a really odd round because they never really, in the end, Katsu didn't really gain any territory. They just won all the gunfights because Bruh peaked at many different angles and lost those fights. So it's a very odd round, I feel like, because in the end, like, I know that Dot Dash was in a corner by himself. You had the player inside a bathroom, which was the Smoke, who peaked as well, which was Anthony. So it's like, I don't know whether or not they needed to be this aggressive in their peaking in the first place.
So neither side coming away with an early 2-round lead. It seems, it's early, but it seems like we might be heading to one of those back and forth games again. 2 players on each side dropping donuts, but I don't want to focus on that too hard because again, it's only been 2 rounds. Again, I'd focus on Leveron. Yeah, his team lost that last round, and I think you could probably point to the roamers all sort of dying one by one without getting any kills as part of the reason why they lost that round.
Yeah.
But they did waste a lot of time, and if you'd gotten just one more of those kills, I don't think you can say one individual roamer should have gotten an extra kill or 2. I think you can sort of say, like, any of them getting a kill would have been a huge difference. Even just once.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, something at some point in time would have been probably helpful, but I think it would have gone a long way too, because that time was so heavily in favor of the defenders. So, I don't know. It's very early on, and we definitely could see this go all the way to round 15, as we saw in the last matchup, or it could be a 7-1. It's really too early to say. Again, for a lot of these early teams, these first few qualifiers are kind of going to be about getting to know them, finding out the personalities of the squads, and really just sitting down with a candlelit dinner and learning about their life story.
I don't know about that one, but okay. Either way, we're having this upstairs taken, and it seems like they're setting up in regards to expecting an admin take. You see the shield pointing towards a long desk pointing towards admin. You'll see actually a drop from Lebron going downstairs and roam around. Though he's been spotted up by drones, they know he's playing towards V's office. And this looks like the same kind of admin take we've seen before from other teams, like you saw from OTF or from the side of. I forgot the name actually, of the team, for sure.
What are we up to? They're attacking the top floor. Sorry, I'm just dealing with something.
Yeah, it's on the floor. Yeah, it's like top floor. They're taking down control admin. It's the same kind of take we've seen from before from other teams, and I'm wondering if they're gonna run that same issue where they try to push and take, control of projector, and they just lose it out to a smoke, or they lose out to these really good gunfights and those long angles from the defenders, because that's kind of been what already set up. You see dot dash with a long angle from bathroom, smokes playing in waiting room with Anthony, so it's kind of leave the same kind of way. I don't know how well Anthony's gonna play like T-Sop and Timsy, but maybe we'll see the same kind of fantastic smoke play.
Still everybody alive as again we approach that last minute of the round, or we approach that halfway mark, I should say. And as all these attackers work their way into the bomb site, again you're worried about a guy like Jay, who's highlighted on your screen right now, who's down below with the C4, always gonna be a pretty devastating threat if he can get that C4 off and land his mark. The information being relayed to the attackers, they have some of the info down onto Dot Dash in particular, playing that dock up top. There are some attackers on that first floor too, so they could be hunting down the pulse of Jay, who's lurking over here. Oh my god, that was a shot from Oasis. Long angle finds Subarctic, and really well played by him.
That is clear yellow stairs if they want to take that, maybe rotate the yellow stairs instead, because you see a lot of the angles made by the defense. They're expecting this kind of take into projector, so maybe rotate from Katsu may prove to be their favor if they can take control of yellow stairs. Not saying it's Jay though, so there goes the pulse from below, so that means they don't worry about C4 from below. That's a really good use to deal with the utility from the defense. Smoke does come out though, deny a push into projector, but he can't deny that person in the corner. 6 will take a Levron though, so it's even just falling apart even more for the defense. Oasis picks the diffuser. The dot dash tries to get aggressive and find something, because it's 2v5. He needs to find a kill. Anthony though, with this 11 will take on 6. But it's a post situation now, it's a 2v4. He'll heal up side of Anthony, and they're gonna try and take back site.
Here's a gunfight all the way through the hallway. It's an ACOG versus an ACOG, and looks like Dot Dash comes out on top. His teammate falls though, so he's got a really heavy burden on his shoulders, and he's not gonna be able to finish that off. It's Katsu 2 to win round number 3 and propel themselves to their first lead, 2-1.
Yeah, I told you the yellow stairs take. That's perfect for BB.
Totally. I mean, that was kind of the clutch of that whole round.
Seriously, but it still, I guess in the end, they couldn't play as well as you saw from OTF when they were able to hold on to that site. But good work from Constant to know that, Jay was playing below and deal with those other utilities to deny the play in the first place. So good work from Constant to drone out, see where those other defenders were, and deny that kind of take, or that kind of, that utility from defense anyway. So we'll be going back downstairs to cafeteria and garage, and it looked pretty good for Constant so far, though. It's only been 3 rounds, though, so it's not a lot to go off of.
Yeah, for sure. I think, though, with the trend now moving in favor of Katsu, you can sort of ask the question, was that first round just a good sight for Bra? Was that just maybe a lucky, opening round for them? I think those would be valid questions to ask just based on those last 2 questions. I wouldn't say that they're possible to answer right now. And I think that we can see some improvement coming out from Bra in these next couple of rounds. Would not surprise me if they really start to turn the tides. Again, Levron's going to be bringing the Goyo out, and last time I don't know if they had a huge effect on the outcome of the round. It seemed like maybe he just kind of died early and didn't do a whole lot with those Goyo shields. So I'm hoping we see a little bit better usage of them from him. Again, last time was a very sort of hunker down and stay inside of the bomb site strat. Looks like, again, it'll be the same. When we saw Senshi defend on this bomb site 2 times in rounds number 1 and 4, it was a lot more like changing things up between the two, I should say.
Yeah, I definitely wonder if they're gonna change up anything because it does seem like the same thing from the side of Bruh, and you see the same shields. These shields were destroyed so easily by Macro with the skeleton king from above. So I'm really interested in the same mirrors as well. Like it was kind of like it didn't work out really well in the favor of those mirrors and those just being able to take the fights when they came to them. But I don't know exactly what Katsu's going to do different this time. The same thing seems to be the same kind of push from above. They're gonna take out, clear upstairs, clear second, first floor.
This cardiac sensor again going to be utilized to try to find somebody from above archives. Last time this was a really effective strategy, and I'm interested to see how Katsu try to adapt to it. One of the things you can try to do is you can just go down there and deal with it yourself. There are some hatches that'll lead down there. Of course, it's going to be pretty obvious that you're heading down, so probably the Pulse would try to deal with you himself, or just maybe not go inside of that open offices and get caught out from it. So we'll see what the attackers want to do with it. Right now, they're all just sort of on this top floor and running around, waiting for the defenders to actually, well, not really waiting for the defenders, getting to that top, or that first floor and starting to work their way down vertically.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to take it press from last time and just try and, you know, get angles onto the anchors like Dot here. But he's trying to deal with his Mirror because Mirror last time was able to get a couple kills. Dot playing the SPG 11 behind it was pretty powerful. So using maybe the Skeleton Key this time, they could deal with that this time. Then we'll see. It looks like he's going to try and destroy those Vulcan shields once more from above. Make sure they don't blow any of his teammates up later on in the round when they go to the plants. I'm not sure one to look for any others. And last time there was a C4 that killed one, and it could be the same C4. I don't know if that's soft though.
It looks pretty
Oh,
soft to me. Yeah,
it looks pretty soft.
That's a good sign. He'll throw the C4 up now, and no, that's not going to get a kill. Oh, because it was destroyed from way up above? Perhaps? But there's somebody right there. No. Where is he?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Okay.
It looked like it should have blown him up, but I don't understand what happened.
Might have been some just some materials up there. He might have been behind a wall or a desk or something that we couldn't
Yeah,
see
I think
from
he was
our
behind
angle.
a wall, I guess.
He must have been behind something. Well, there's Subarctic coming around and getting a kill for his squad. Anyways, Noski will fall, and yeah, Jay, not concerned about these track stingers. He will waste all the noise in the world opening them up. It looks like he does get punished from it, though, because Makarov is able to find the return frag onto him. We've only got 30 seconds in this round. Somehow it's all slipped away from us. The diffuser gets dropped as the player who had it had gotten down, trying to crawl away. He will not be able to as he chokes on the gas of Dot Dash. Now we've got two attackers still looking into the bomb site. 15 seconds. Oh, no. These toxic babes, so deadly. Leveron holding things on from behind. Anthony also watching over with his diffuser. Yeah, Jay a little bit far. There's a good opening frag from Habibi to actually get back into the bomb site, but his teammate goes down, and now it's all onto his shoulders. He's got to find 3 players or go for the plant, but he can't do either of them. It's Broad to get round number 4 and equalize once more. It seems like this is a good bomb site for him.
Yeah, it seems like these mirrors and overall just being able to hold on archives and hold, you know, the backside from any kind of push from the attack is really working out for Bra. They've been able to deal with maybe the C4 didn't work out, but he still have some Arctic with the information from the cardiac sensor just land the headshot onto Noski was holding. I think he was holding for a flank, which I guess in the end he did get flanked in the end. So really good work from. They really have that bomb site down here from Bruh, but we need to see them pull that same thing for this console office and meeting or for lobby and press before we really think they're gonna pull away here on this half.
So console meeting room will be where we head, and that seems to make a little bit of sense. Neither it nor lobby were successful for Bra the last time that they were at both these bomb sites, so both are still options for them, but they'll change up the order and be a little bit more standard in their site selection this time around. In terms of the operators that they've brought out this time, it doesn't seem like there's anything crazy going on either. Sometimes we'll see something fun like a Vigil being played on this bomb site. Hasn't been too much of that, though. Other than the Goyo, we haven't seen a ton of experimentation with different operators. And Goyo really is only an experimentation because he is so new into the game, at least new into the competitive ecosystem, because we do have that 3-month wait period before operators can get used. So, alright, fair enough. There hasn't been a whole lot of crazy shenanigans going down for either side in terms of the operators at the very least, and the strategies as well. I wouldn't say that there's been anything too adventurous. Brahev seems content to play passive on almost every bomb site, and for the basement that works quite well. It can work okay on the top floor too, but that lobby press room hold is really tough, and I am interested to see if they're just going to keep trying to play their play style here in round number 5.
Yeah, it seems like last time they were holding those long angles, and it seemed like as though Katsu able to just find those angles and deal with the defenders who were just waiting for those anchor positions, whether they just shot them or what. It just worked out very well for Katsu. So I don't know if they're gonna maybe get him aggressive. You see, I think wasn't Yajay on the pulse last time? Maybe I can't remember exactly. I think he was below on the pulse, and now he's playing Mozzie instead. So maybe they're trying to get more aggressive, use those drones to their advantage to find out where these attackers are coming from, or C4 from below if they're in VSO.
It could be. We've started to have the attackers get into the bomb site now. Or get into the map now. It's a little bit slow, but because we're on the top floor, it's a little bit more excusable. Admin office should be going a little bit sooner than 1 minute, but I guess it's fine if they can move fast the rest of the round. It's really not going to be the end of the world. Interesting you're opening up this hatch. You've only got 2 exothermic charges, with, of course, Maverick being banned off and Habana not being brought. So weird that they would waste one to look down into Passport. All right, I mean, I guess, but that's not probably where I would use mine. You still have other places where you might want to open things, particularly like into the projector room. The wall that Makarov is staring at right now is going to remain closed throughout the rest of this game. Yeah, Jay finds a C4 kill onto Makarov, so that's again going to be really well-executed C4 play coming out from the guys in the basement on those lower floors. Is Jay actually on the lower floor? It doesn't seem to matter. His teammates are all getting kills.
Jay's upstairs.
Subarctic went for a run out. Jay gets a triple. Oh boy. These C4s and then gunplay has been really, really strong from Jay. He's going for a 4th, but it doesn't happen. Habibi hits that shot, and he finds himself 4 men remaining in his 1v5 ace clutch. Of course, it's always going to be a difficult position to claw your way out of. He's going to be holding the angle. This would be a position where I personally, if I was in his shoes, I would just sit back and give my team a bit of a timeout. Time to think, time to rest.
I was going to say, Leveron was playing the pulse, but he even used the C4 even. And then you had Jay, who was on site getting the C4 kill, probably with information from Leveron, I believe, but still really good from Jay just to get a triple kill. As we sit here and wait for Habibi to peek out, he's on no HP, and there it is, they peek out, dot dash will finish him off, and Bro will take their first win on this site. They're in the lead now, 3-2.
So again, that was a very good run out. Really, I mean, that was all just the aggressive jump out plays from Bra. And that's interesting because I kind of was mentioning before, they seem like more of a passive team. They're going to sit back. They're going to play their C4s. They're going to just hunker down their bomb site. But not that time. Clearly, they were inspired by something and really putting the pedal to the metal, getting it going. And because of it, they find themselves with the lead once again, the first time they've found the lead since round number 1. So they get at least 3 of the rounds in the half, and they go to lobby press room. Clearly no teams in North American Tier 3 that we've seen so far wanting to go to that split site here on Consulate. I wonder if that's maybe just because it's a little bit newer, in particular, a little bit less explored, a little bit harder to defend.
I would assume they still want to experiment, so they don't have the right strats to do it right now. It's like I feel like even in Pro League, like doing split site is very difficult. You've seen EU teams try to do it, and they're not nearly as successful as they probably want to be in a sense. So I can see why they're not bringing it out, but it would be nice to see a team finally bring it out one day from T3 or T2. Let's see what happens though. Either way, a bit of a change though. You'll see Oasis on the Blackbeard now, and so last time we had this sites go off, it just seemed to be just a lot of roamers getting aggressive, trying to find kills and not winning those fights. There was, I think, 1 kill for 1 roamer, but otherwise most roamers were dealt with, and the anchors were dealt with as well. So we'll see exactly how Bra do this site, how they maybe not be maybe as aggressive, or maybe wait for the attackers to get into more advantageous spots where they can take those fights. Hard to say. But I will say the aggression last time really worked out in their favor, as yes, we thought they're going to be more, laid back and maybe use C4s in their favor, but they got aggressive as Jay was able to take 3 kills in the beginning.
Interesting mirror window. This is going to be on a soft wall, so that means you can shoot above and below it. Usually we see mirror windows on the hard walls, but it's not always, and that can be certainly advantageous if you want to be the one to pop up above it. Jay not afraid to get aggressive early on in this round. A bit of a risky move, but it didn't get punished for it, so no harm, no foul. These defenders really spreading themselves out far and wide. They want to put a couple more players on that top floor. It's a very different strategy from what we saw in the round number 2 when they were last here on the first floor trying to defend it. So, okay, I think I kind of like this play coming out from them. They've moved things around. They need to be careful that the roamers don't all die off one by one. They did a good job of denying time last time, but they didn't get much else. And because of that, it was like a 1-on-5. And no matter how much time you have, it's really hard to hide from 5 players scurrying around the map trying to find you. So a bit of drone parkour does not pay off as Leveron is able to find it. Oasis trying to catch him out, but it looks like LeBron wants to play a little bit more passive, and he's not going to get caught by that.
I thought I was gonna rappel down the sky for a second there. That'd be interesting. But yeah, it just looks, it seems a bit slow this time. The defenders are not being nearly as aggressive or taking those fights, and they're just kind of waiting for Katsu to really push into, you know, upstairs or onto site. As you have dot dash Levron just holding angles and waiting, and this is kind of, they're wasting more time on anything at this point. Katsu need to make a move.
Levron inside of the bomb site, so he's fully retreated. Of course, that doesn't mean he's safe. Looks like it's gonna be more of a push in through that front door, but Oasis, the man holding the diffuser, is all the way on the roof, so he's gonna have to reposition if he wants to get a plant down. You do still have those defenders up on the top floor. He's gonna drop it and hand it over to his teammate. It looks like Habibi ends up with the diffuser at the end of all that commotion, so fair enough. You've now given it away from the Blackbeard. Probably a good call. Makarov with a Kobe takes down, yeah, Jay. That's going to be a nice grenade kill. Finding the Mira, another one of those players who's on that first floor, so you can kind of ignore the roamers up top if you want to. Risky strategy, but with Oasis covering from projector window, not a bad one. He actually was not seen as Dot Dash crossed that angle, so Oasis in a great position even to go in for a flank onto the flankers. In the meantime, Makarov is hitting a double, just doing all the work by himself. He gets a third. Will he get four though? No, not quite. It seems like LeBron comes out on top, but his teammate is down, and he's now last alive in a 1-on-4, throwing goo mines, but this plant going down means that they do not need to push him. He needs to get back in there from the hatch. Oasis will be his first challenger, but it's 6 to find the kill. Katsu 2 take round number 6 and find their 3rd round in this match.
That was really kind of a repeat. It just happened to be that it wasn't nearly as aggressive or really as fast as Brawl didn't really take any fights, but in the end, those fights were given to, well, those fights were pushed towards them, and they lost all of them except for Levron, who won one fight and then lost it to 6 after that, merely after. So again, it was kind of a different play. It went from being aggressive to passive, and it didn't work out again for Brawl. So we ended 3-3. Nobody's in the lead right now. Nobody's really in the favor, but I will say at least Katsu has some pretty good attacks, and I feel like Brawl and their defenses were kind of like, they had really good defense in Garage, but then the other defense seemed like they're kind of back and forth, but still trying to figure it out in a sense, it seems like. But we'll see Katsu on their first defense in Captain Garage. They're bringing the mirror too as well. Dropping the pulse though.
Again, it seems like all we get in these qualifiers are close games, which I'm not complaining about. This is a hell of a good time, if you ask me. We hit 3-3 going into the half swap, and yeah, again, it seems like evenly matched squads. We were talking before that probably Katsu, we were saying, we're going to be the team that we expect to probably pull out the win in this one. Not that Bra are a bad team or anything like that, but certainly it seems like Katsu are the stronger squad from what we've seen in the first 2 days of these qualifiers, but Bra are putting up quite a fight, and it's impossible to say who's the better team at the moment. Over the course of the next, I don't know, somewhere between 4 and 9 rounds, we should be able to answer that question. But for now, it still remains a mystery as these teams are deadlocked 3-3. The round count continuously edging out back and forth.
Yeah, in this first round, we'll see their first attack from Bro, which will kind of really spring momentum if they're going to try and, you know, take it away here and attack, or if it's just going to just keep going back and forth between both teams. As we'll see, it looks like they're going to try and take upstairs. Maybe they're going to try and deal with any roamers. There aren't a lot of roamers, but you see this bathroom take once more is really the big thing. It's just trying to hold on the bathroom as much as possible. As Noski on the mirror has put a mirror upstairs in bathroom. Looks like he's put one in the office. Some cameras being looking to see where exactly Bra is taking site. You already have Anthony on the top floor. Admin is just clearing out as fast as possible, joining out and seeing where these defenders are for the moment. Seeing nobody's lurking and waiting for it to spring into action. But I also say the big thing more than anything in these rounds is the late game flanks, and say that Habibi will get a C4 on Anthony. I don't know what the information was, but that was a fantastic C4, and that's already Jack off the board.
Jackal, we've already seen, has some very impressive plays in these last 2 matches, so that is maybe a bigger deal than most people might realize, just because Jackal's not brought a whole lot on this matchup. Using those floorboards up above can be really, really effective when you have that information from a Jackal, so that's not going to be an option any longer for the attackers. Of course, they still have a lot of opportunities to use those floorboards, but they need to clear out bathroom first. 2 defenders stacked up inside there can do a lot of work in denying those, particularly the piano control, but also lobby control if you have it. All of the first floor really is in somewhat of a threat, just because you've got 2 players inside a bathroom who can walk out into antechamber and beyond. to deal a significant amount of damage to your squad. So that's what I'd be worried about if I was some attackers. They might choose to just ignore it. That's going to hurt them quite a bit. It's Makarov gets a C4 kill, but Lervon and Subarctic are able to equalize, putting us into a 3-on-3. Not great for the attackers, though. They've lost a couple of players. This wall still not opened on Garage, means Habibi's able to sit nice and pretty down right next to it. Dot Dash finds another kill onto Habibi, so this is continuously not getting a whole lot better for the defenders, at least. Not a lot of range left on either of these two guys, but at the very least, they've got some good guns on their side. So, going to try to hold this down in the remaining 45 seconds of the round.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to use those mirrors to advantage, try and see, but 6 on a long flank. Again, these long flanks saw before could be what turns the tide here, or helps them win these rounds, because they're a disadvantage here for defense of Katsu. Now the wall's been opened up. They could go for a plant. There is also the gridlock of Levron. It uses tracks to maybe even deny any kind of push around here as Dot Dash and both the Subarctic push in. Some damage onto won't be enough, though, as he gets crossfired by Subarctic. 6 gets Levron, finishes off the stairs. But now the plant's going down Dot Dash behind the white van. Subarctic will be the man to defend him as he plants. And so the 6 isn't really so much a surprise. He jumps down, and Subarctic will finish up with 6 and Noski and Bro in the first attack. That's what you need to do to bring momentum and really maybe start the lead and start on a spree here.
Subarctic having a really good round there. That whole time there's a lot of grenades and C4s being exchanged between both the two squads. I think we're going to see a lot of that due to the fact that the operator bans have somewhat encouraged it, and mostly just because we do have a lot of projectile players in this server. Jay, of course, been fantastic with that. He's going to be topping the scoreboard for his team. Makarov on the other side of things has also been very good with the C4s this game, and likewise he will top the scoreboard for his team. 4-3, a slight advantage goes in the way of Bruh. They have more or less kept up the pace of this matchup. But, I mean, it's only a matter of time before Katsu tie it up again, I'm sure.
You never know. They could spring the lead here, and maybe Bruh will take it away. But either way, we're going back. Now we're going upstairs. Back upstairs. We're going upstairs for our first defense here from Katsu. They're going to keep the ball along. They're not going to retry Garage maybe till later on. And big thing, we'll see how aggressive they are on this site, if they can defend it like we saw from Bruh, though. I will say it seems to be like it seems to be the same as always, but we'll see if we can play it smoke. See the C4 from Noski is really work, or if they get dealt with like we saw Katsu deal with Jay when he was playing below. And it's pretty similar lineup, that's too crazy.
Yeah, nothing too bad. Of course, defending up on this top floor. After unsuccessfully defending on the basement, they could have tried going back there, but that wasn't meant to be, I guess. They're going to focus more on this other bomb site. So that shows a little bit of flexibility from the defenders, right? You're comfortable enough to go up to the console office. This is a bomb site where some teams can be a little bit iffy on. Noski, again, going to be downstairs, so this is another pulse being brought out. Between these two teams, there's been a ton of pulse, and even in the last matchup, it seems like they're really favoring this operator. A lot of it's been like just relaying information to the squad. It hasn't even been a ton of that solo like C4 pulse combo that we're used to from this operator. Now you're noticing there that the intel is being gathered by the attackers. Bra are very much aware that there's going to be these defenders down below. So now we need to see them actually deal with it. There needs to be some sort of an initiative from the squad to look down below and say, hey, let's deal with these players before we focus on that top floor. Otherwise, they're going to be eating some C4s for breakfast.
Yeah, definitely too. They can always watch me lobby too if they want to just deny them from using the C4s instead of projector. But same point, you see some Arctic on the IQ identifying where the pulse of Noski is, along with the drones to spot up Makarov as well. So if a united effort from the attack of Bro just deal with them immediately, that could be prove to be a big boon here for them if they go for that push. But it looks like they aren't really doing for it yet. They're maybe just aware of it and maybe waiting for an aggression from them, as at least it seems to be no real aggression. Or Levron, no, never mind, I lied. Levron is downstairs. He murders both of them immediately.
Not too bad to see from one of your better players. He's been a little bit quiet this matchup, but definitely stepping it up in this round with an early 2K of the players who were hiding down in the basement, and that's exactly what you need to do. You didn't waste too much time, about a minute and a half for 2 players. That's good for the attackers. You're happy with that exchange. You've lost no bodies for it, and now you can spend the other half of the round focusing in on this bomb site. That should be enough time to deal with just 3 players who are hunkering down, so not a problem. You still got Anthony up alive. Dot Dash finds Oasis, so this isn't going to be a problem in terms of your yokai drones. Now you just need to find Habibi, and those smokes also won't be a problem. The second Toxic Babe does get thrown out, so that's no longer going to be an issue. There goes 6. So it's all into Habibi in the ace clutch situation. He's got a lot of pings, but doesn't matter. Bra take the round number 8 with a flawless round to boot. Not too bad for themselves as they find their first 2-round lead.
Oh, you man, it seems like they're taking the momentum and they're just running with it now.
Definitely. They've really picked it up in the second half, and that's good to see.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to go to next, if they're going to retry basement or if they're going to go back upstairs. But it looks like they are retrying cafeteria and garage here for the defense of Katsu. We saw a lot of C4 work last time. It kind of worked in the favor to get 2 kills, but still you see some Arctic and yeah, Jade is still bringing it back and taking those kills back and refragging immediately. So I don't exactly know what Katsu need to do here. Maybe be aggressive, maybe try to take those, maybe try to hold those top floors instead, or rather just being below it is, you know, indirectly denying it. Hard to say.
Well, the situation gets a little bit more dire for Katsu as a 2-round lead in round number 4 was something, but a 2-round lead is going to be a little bit more impactful in round number 9 because a 5-3 scoreline kind of gets to that danger territory of you slipping the match away and not being able to recover from it. You've only lost 2 in a row if you're Katsu, so it's not like they've completely lost control of this game, but you do need to think about, well, is the momentum going to start to shift, especially with the side swap happening 2 rounds ago. Doesn't seem like a coincidence. Usually when the half swaps, if the defenders start doing a lot better, that's kind of fine because you expect the defense to be a little bit stronger in the first couple rounds because they haven't revealed their strats yet, because they can go to whatever bomb site they want. But when the attackers get the opening 2 rounds after the half swap, that's when you start to get a little bit worried for the defense because you've had every opportunity to go where you want. You were able to change things up. They went downstairs, they went upstairs, they're going to go back downstairs to try this again, and nothing has seemingly worked for them so far. I'm not saying it's impossible, obviously, for them to make this work, but it is worrying that they've now failed on 2 different bomb sites.
Yeah, definitely worried to see that they're just not really finding any success, but we'll try again now. This is the second try here for garage and cafeteria, and we'll see. It's a bit different, though. We see still, again, that player playing in archives. It's not a pulse this time, though. It looks like it's just a macro on the Mozzie, who's down below in archives. I think you see forward some information from the Yokais, because remember last time the Yokais were actually the Yokai in Visa, so maybe they're trying to use some information, trying to pinpoint when to C4 someone with those Yokais. But I say that actually no macros in bathroom actually, so maybe he's playing in archives actually. And actually Oasis has a Yokai way upstairs, so that's one thing too. Yokais, they're putting Yokais in a lot of weird places too to get information for aggressive plays, but they're not really making any aggressive plays.
Not a lot going on for the attackers in that first minutes. I mean, they're doing their best. They're gathering information, which is all you really need to be doing. So that's fine, I suppose, especially with the basement defense and the way that these two teams have seemingly wanted to hold the basement. Not a lot of people being placed up inside of the bathroom or any other sort of a roam. In round number 7, we did see that. We saw 2 players actually hunkered up in bathroom, and clearly that didn't work too well for Katsu. They actually have it again. So this time around, the strategy hasn't changed. They drop 1, and there are some attackers who are going to be putting some pressure on the second, but I think this bathroom engagement has been well ignored by the attackers in rounds past. And this one in particular, like, despite the fact that Habibi is here, it's not too big of a deal, and they actually deal a little bit of damage to him as he flees from the top floor. So that's going to be it all in control of Bra. They still fire some shots in because they're not sure exactly what they're here, but they've forced everybody out. They've taken control of that. They've done a little bit of damage too. I think they're okay with this as they can now look towards the bomb site, and they've already done quite a bit up against the anchors who have been picked apart in the opening 2 minutes of this game.
How do you say that? But Notsky looks at C4. We will get refragged by Levron. So it's a back and forth to get rid of the buck. So they can't really do much more damage with that skeleton key. But you lose the mirror, which is a big thing. The mirror is already deployed, so you don't lose anything really. You already use the C4 too. So another crazy trade, kind of in the way of the defense in their favor. But 27 seconds to go. It's kind of almost seems like Bro trying to face from the outside. Arctic kicks Oasis though out. So it's going now into the favor of the attackers. Those mirrors, though, are still in play, though, to deny any kind of push, but the smokes will at least deny a sight line, allowing for Dot Dash to walk in. Anthony gets macro of those well, so there goes another C4 off the board, not being used as BB gets 7. Arctic Levron tries to get 6, and he takes a BB as well, actually, so Bro will take another round on attack, and they're really taking this away.
That's 3 in a row now, and again, I think a lot of this has to do with just the constant pressure from almost the second the round or the action phase starts up to the second it ends. There's somebody on Bruh who is looking at the bomb site, who is throwing some gunshots in, who's destroying a softball here or there, just opening up angles, making the anchors uncomfortable. And sure, they spent like 2 minutes and 15 seconds not getting any kills, but that's fine, right? Because they're still destroying a lot of utility. They're still opening up the walls that they need to open up. And when they go for an execute, they can make that happen, and they're set up in a way where they're going to be successful with it more often than not. They find themselves with a 3-round lead, and that's going to be every single round in the second half that they've managed to claim. Katsu changed things up again, and this seems to me that Katsu are a little bit nervous. They've got to run back 3 in a row if they don't want to lose this game and win overtime.
Is it nervous, or just like they're not sure what to do now? Because I feel like they're still defaulting to the same strategies that they're not working out. I don't see anything crazy changes that they're making. I don't see like any other really operations, which they maybe don't need to do, but it seems like they need to maybe tune a strategy, maybe try to forefront some of these plays instead of just letting them happen. But I don't know what to say at this point, as Bro have been able to just make their way in, just take out the utility, accumulate their attack, and just execute even with no time left. They seem to be maybe knowing that they can have no time left to execute and make it work every single time.
One last chance. They're going to get another chance if they succeed, and then another chance if they succeed, but they can't make any more mistakes on the defense. They're going to hold upstairs. A site rotation at this point doesn't really matter, but maybe just feeling that basement isn't their best shot. Perhaps they'll flex onto the split site, but I kind of don't see it happening. We sort of talked about how that's a difficult bomb site for teams in general a few minutes ago. As for the attack, I mean, this seems relatively standard west side take, right? Or east side take, I should say. They're coming in through the admin office. Right now, they're just sort of staring at it, but that information's being gathered. Anthony's in, and he's going for it. Already found the Mozzie on that Jackal tracker, so you've got that at least figured out, and that's going to force another one of those far-out roamers to come back to the bomb site and play a little bit more safely. Thankfully, though, 6 can actually rotate back downstairs, so you've still got first floor and possibly even basement pressure from the defense.
Yeah, it's the one rumor on the board. He's on a C4 below, though. I actually want to say, no, Noski there's with him. So there's at least a C4 being used. 6 will be rigging the return to site as Noski's still playing below, waiting for a chance to use C4 to deal with anybody maybe planting or inside a projector. I wonder if Bro will recognize that, as there's the IQ of some Arctic. Maybe we'll spot out the cardiac sensor being used downstairs. Anthony's made his way, and they've made a lot of holes here to rotate through and around admin. Looks like the flash is being pushed to deal with the ADSs on site, and Habibi is the only person again sitting on the corner. I think he was the last one alive last time too, as they were able to take out the rest of the defenders around him. He's being pressured with grenades though from the ledge too, though. So looks like this time they're trying to deal with Habibi first. The projector will cost him to leave projector, and so you have cleared out projector for now.
This Toxic Babe's going to stall out the attack again. It's been 2 minutes without a kill, but I don't think it's the end of the world coming in for Bra here. They've still managed to focus on this bomb site. It's what they've seemingly gotten really good at when they're attacking. The pressure is constant on these anchors, and they haven't even dealt any damage right now. If Noski hasn't been addressed at all, then that's a problem, but I kind of have a feeling they probably know he's down there somewhere. They've got 6 down here too they need to worry about. As long as they're watching their flanks, it won't be a problem, but certainly this is something that teams have gotten caught off guard by before. There's an angle. Makarov almost found somebody as they were lurking into his sights. He rotates now to find it behind the softball and hits the shot on Anthony MGS. Yeah, Jay had also got down to Habibi, so this has been very, very successful for the defenders so far. Down on that first floor, it seems like 6th in the engagement as well versus Levron, who's taking a bunch of damage and then a little bit slow on that trigger. Gives Habibi his second kill. Dot Dash is a nice shot, and a second as well, downing the Echo. He's got the pistol out now, though, and he needs to get a better gun if he doesn't want to lose his engagement. It doesn't matter as his back is facing Habibi. Shotgun comes in clutch, and Katsu, too, get their 4th round and stop the bleeding.
But still a match point here for Katsu, so it's still back to the wall. They have to be careful. They have to go downstairs back to Garage, or if they want to try lobby or split, which can be maybe something you need to do here. Maybe change it up and not retry the same site over again and retry the same strategy. So we'll see lobby and press being brought up by Katsu, where they need to. I don't know. It just seems like every time it seems as though Bra is able to accumulate their attack and able to execute. This time they tried to accumulate and they just didn't execute it. Didn't seem like they ever really tried for it. Maybe they couldn't get anything open or really get any angles, get any picks that helped them go for that execute. But if anything, we'll see if Katsu what they do to deal with them this time. As last time, it seemed like though Bro just kind of didn't even go for it. Maybe they ran out of fuel, didn't know what to do. hard to say. They did try to deal with the drummers downstairs, but it was Levron on his own in a 2v1 technically, as both Six and Noski were downstairs by the bathroom.
They're very committed on Katsu to making this roam work, and I mean, credit to him in that last round. I think those two players playing down below were pretty clutch. You've got some guys flexible, which is nice. Six started off on the top floor and then was able to move downstairs after Makarov got jackal tracked and had to return to site because roaming for him was basically not an option after the footprints were caught up by Anthony MGS. So I like that they're able to flex people up and down, move people around in different positions, whatever seems to serve the team better. But you gotta say that, like, some of the times the lack of people on site seems to hurt them, particularly in that last when they were defending on the basement. When the attack are constantly able to put pressure on the defense without anybody really there to put pressure back, seems like it's leading to a lot of round wins for Bra. We were talking about the bomb sites though, and it looks like we will be defending on lobby for this time around, so really not favoring that basement bomb site.
Yeah, I definitely want to try it for a third time though, because I feel like third time at that point you're kind of reaching the point of insanity. If you try it for a third time and you still end up losing, unless you really change up your strategy, maybe change your operator lineup. But we'll see them try upstairs. Of course, you can hold upstairs for vertical play. We said before. And we'll see how long they can hold this top floor from the attackers of Bro, as Leveron's going to jump right into Visa. Dasher bringing the drone out. Who's upstairs? The Mozzie drones or pests will try to deny any kind of information, but somebody's there to deal with that with the scanner of IQ. And so now they'll be able to get information, see who's around upstairs and how they're going to deal with them. Are they going to try to open up that projector wall? Though they see bullet holes from Six to deal with maybe walking through the door, so they need to maybe hopefully can see that and not just walk into Six's sights.
Match point, round number 11. We continue to tick that clock down. Again, the attacks are slow from Bra. Every single round, it seems like they're not super concerned about the roamers. They'll force them out sometimes, and they'll at least get a read on where they're at, but they don't challenge them head on. It's always that focus on the bomb site. Here comes another smoke grenade from Anthony. He's going to toss that one in. Just see if he can move some players out of position, because again, the hard destruction to get inside of the projector is going to be so much more difficult without a Habana. Moving in from this side of the map is tough when you only have a thermite. Six finds Anthony MGS. Maybe now you have that position to get onto the hallway, but Noski's still watching it, and it's still going to be a really, really tough ask if you want to force the defender inside a projector out of that position. Noski about to get a kill. He's got the ping, so and that's probably going to prompt the attackers to back off a little bit. Habibi peeks, amazingly hits the shot too, and the Toxic Babes should finish off dot dash. Yes, they do. Yeah, Jay follows up with a frag grenade. Can we please talk about how good that guy is with his grenades? He's hit a million this game. There's another down on the diffuser. Six finishes off. Yeah, Jay with a double kill on the round. Two defenders left, or two attackers left alive, I should say, to try to push this match into being done. There's somebody in the bathroom. Subarctic seems to be aware. Some bullets confirm that theory. Levron finds a headshot onto Makarov. Oasis goes down, but Levron got traded. 30 seconds on this clock. Six and Noski trying to hold things down. And again, if Subarctic could pull off the miracle play, then that will be game over. But it doesn't look like it'll happen. Six comes out with a gunfight from the hatch, and Katsu continue their comeback. Gonna make it a 6-5 scoreline.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems as though Bro could not find a way to deal with that really good setup here from the side of Katsu when they're holding that bullet hole angle from the side of Six, who was watching and maybe walking into projector. You also had Habibi around the corner to deal with him if they're around that area too. And then you also had Nasi inside the bathroom. Actually, I think it was in yellow stairs with open holes pointing towards long desk anyway. So just really good way to hold those sides. And it's just like Bro didn't want to rotate or try a different angle at that point, as they're already committed to trying to take top floor from that side. And so they'll lose most of those fights and end up being a 2v4 where they really can't come back from. And so 5-6, this is where Katsu need to take one more round. They go to OT.
Both teams having a lot of variation in the kill departments. Most notably, I was seeing Anthony MGS a little bit low on that scoreboard for my liking. Of course, his team's doing pretty good. It's a close matchup. And you could definitely talk about the utility that his Jackal and other operators have been bringing to this matchup. So again, with any match of Siege, I don't want to focus too hard on those kills, but it is something to think about. Certainly, there have been more standout names in this match compared to some other names. So, all right, fair enough. We are still early on in quals, and it wouldn't be totally out there to see roster changes. Not that I hope we see roster changes, but something to watch out for later on into the qualifiers. We go back to Cafeteria Garage, and this is a scary bomb site because it has been lost twice by the defense, and they're forced to do it again because they don't want that split site.
Defuse a bomb.
Yeah, I really wonder what Katsu need to do at this point, because every time they've just not been able to really deny that upstairs, vertical plays. You see Six though playing upstairs, and you see one in the bathroom again like before. It's kind of the same play, but you see at least more aggression from the side of Katsu this time, as you see two players actually, just Bakarov and Six. So maybe it's what they need. They need to be aggressive, maybe take the fights instead, rather than allowing for Bra to just take all of, most of the map for nothing, really.
We get a little bit farther into this round, and again, the way the attackers have successfully attacked us before is by getting that garage wall open early, and then by continuously pressuring the anchors. Now, you've got a guy like Anthony MGS just roaming around that top floor, trying to find other guys like Makarov and Six who might be lurking up here, and in fact, they are. So there's always going to be that threat of a roamer, and I think if those roamers actually manage to accomplish something, and that'll be big. Makarov is out here sniping drones though, so that makes this roam even stronger coming out from Katsu. It could be what they need to actually swing this bomb site back their way. You're still worried about the lack of players on site though. That's Inox Model 3 is going to be able to force Six off the top floor. It looks like his teammates are going with him too, so clearly they're not afraid to give this up and going back to the bomb site at an appropriate time in my mind.
It was actually interesting because it looks like they did notify that, or notice that the fact that Bruh never takes Thatcher, so they ended up muting the garage wall. They can't open it unless you see Bruh take control of the side of press room and then open from above, as those mute jammers are denying Dash from opening up the garage, which is a big thing actually, because you said before they opened up the garage quick and they pressure the anchors, but now they can't get garage open, and it's already a minute 10 left. There's still quite a bit of time for the attack, but it's ticking down, and Bra now needs to make a move to somehow gain control of press without losing many players. You'll see Habibi here in the bathroom with the shotgun, as Jay will open up the other side of the bathroom. They're trying to pinch out some Arctic and Jay in this endeavor, but it looks like all of the other defenders who were here are now back on site.
Habibi just priming that ACOG shotgun. Noski will open this round up with a C4 kill. It's going to take down Jay. That makes it a little bit harder to end the match right here. Subarctic makes some noise dealing with that barbed wire. Of course, there's two players in bathroom. One of them is going to drop as that wall starts now to get opened up, and a beautiful play from Subarctic timed perfectly as Habibi looks away at just the wrong moment. That's going to move us into a 4-on-4, so this is a little bit more even and definitely more doable for the attackers. They've got Dash in a great position to go in for a plant. He's just sitting outside, and these smoke grenades are going to help him quite a bit as well. They do see a defender way back there, and Anthony MGS in a position where he can put some pressure on, but he's gotten taken out. Noski's in with a triple, and actually he's going to be able to get a quadra if he gets this kill. Oh, but he's all out, and he gets down. It's going to be one player left alive. Levron can't do it. Katsu 2 take round 12, and we are going to be going to overtime once more here, Benny.
My God, this is going back and forth. Bra had a 3-round lead, but Katsu adapting and changing the styles and able to bring it back 6-6 into OT. They are defense first too, so this could go their way if they're able to keep up these defense wins like they've been doing for the last 3 rounds. I'm very surprised at the last round though, because it was a bit of aggressive plays, but more than anything, they wasted so much time for Bra in there. Almost a ghost attempt, because they were playing aggressive. They were spotted up with these drones. Drones were taken as well from Bra, and in the end, it just wasted so much time for Bra, and they had to, like, we've seen Bra able to execute with a lot of time, but the big thing was they couldn't open garage until the last few minutes, and you saw Noski, I think, in information also from the Yokai, making great plays. He did get killed by Dash, but by that point, there was only like, what, 10 seconds left?
Used by attackers.
Yeah, it was a little bit too little too late at that point, for sure. So with all of that taking place, we find ourselves in overtime for the second time of the night, at least for you and I, Benny, and Keg. Getting this far, it's always a pleasure to see, and that's how you know you got top competition. Again, large credit to Bra, not only for competing with a team like Katsu, but also for having such a strong lead over them. I mean, getting those 3 rounds in a row, that's tough, especially when you are considered a bit of an underdog. I don't want to oversell that point. I think that Bra are still a very strong team inside these qualifiers, but perhaps a little bit worse on paper. Clearly showing up now, though, and I mentioned a while ago that it was going to take somewhere between like 4 and 9 rounds to figure out who actually was the better between these two squads. It's leaning quite heavily towards that 9-round count as of now.
Yeah, we'll see though. We'll see exactly as Kato on defense first, and so that kind of gives me an advantage because defense have been doing a bit better. Oh, it's like it's actually no, it's been 50-50. It's 50-50 actually, so it doesn't actually matter even in the sense it could go either way. So it's hard to say, but in the end, we need to see exactly what they do differently here for the side of Bros. Last time, they really couldn't make a play on this site last time. They just weren't able to really, and it's actually a change from Katsu because they're bringing Makarov on the castle. So this is actually another change from Katsu, and this is what they need to really throw a wrench into Bros planning in their accumulation of attack.
One drone finds another as Dot Dash spots a yokai on the yellow stairs. Holding up top, this is an interesting mirror window being held right now by Makarov and of course set up by Noski. You're looking inside of the admin office, so this is a position where you could possibly stop both sides of a push. I like it. The castle barricade helps them out quite a bit too. This is brand new. We didn't see them pull this out at all in the regular time, even when they were down. So this is a fun little strategy being brought out by Katsu in the overtime. Anthony going to be running around though and just forces them out with the ping. Makarov is forced to run away, and it looks like they just had good information on the attack to notice that, hey, he's not going to be down there. And with so many footprints, it's also very difficult for the Jackal to tell actually which one is the one he needs to find. Oasis gathering information for the castle, and again, bit of a Mexican standoff as both of these two teams, through the drone hole perhaps, looking for something. It looks like the Jackal tracks have worked though, and Makarov is forced to back off.
He does down Anthony though, so at least Anthony's not low HP, which is a really good start. But this is also, yeah, again, like I said before, this adaptation know that every single time Bros attack the site, they came from the side, but Levron comes up spiral Makarov with information. It's a notice that he has to take taken down, so at least a trade in a sense. But Levron takes another on a 6-2, so both one of them roamers and anchor taking down. That's kind of puts Bro in the lead now in the driver's seat for this round. But you still have anchors like Habibi and Oasis though to deal with them. So hopefully they can try and fight back as they make their way with 30 seconds left to go.
You've got a two-player advantage. You need to work that a little bit more. You've got a couple of guys pushing through the smoke. That's a very dangerous proposition. The time favoring the defense. Now the kills come in. One apiece puts us to a 2-on-4. 1-on-4. Anthony MGS gets his double, but from above, Oasis shuts down Dot Dash, the planter. So now he's got to find a new angle to get that plant down with. Anthony goes for the plants, and Lavron's getting the kills. That's going to give round number 13 to Bra. Their fourth round in a row. They've really moved the momentum back towards their favor.
Yeah, even though they brought a new strategy out here for Katsu, that strategy still didn't really damper the time. It did in a sense though, but even 30 seconds, we've seen Bra able to execute within the last 30 seconds, the last 20 seconds of round. They did just that again with the man advantage too. They just exercise man advantage. Levron gets those kills that weren't expected to, and surprisingly Anthony able to get 2 as well. So really good work on Bra to just, even though time is ticking and they have not a lot of time left, they don't freak out, they don't panic, they make the plays, they make the kills, and they make it work. That's crazy about Bra so far against Katsu. And Katsu now, they're now down around, and they're on the backs of the wall about to lose this match.
It's been a long time since we've seen Bra move over to the defense, and we've actually had to have Katsu attack. That means the Goyo's going to come back. Of course, that wasn't utilized at all by Katsu when they were defending, but now it is the operator that Bra like to play around with. And it's again an interesting one if they want to play it out in different positions. We're stalling out at the moment. I don't know what's going on with the lobby right now. We might need to rehost though. That is unfortunate given our timing. This is unlucky. Please don't rehost. Oh,
there we go.
Oh, Ubisoft, thank you. Everybody, nice. Throw some love letters to your Ubisoft, your favorite Ubisoft developer for that one, because boy, that was scary.
This is just sitting there waiting like,
I don't know if I've seen that before. That's, yeah, oh well.
I've seen it a couple times. But either way, it's just interesting that they keep bringing Goyo, even though those shields get destroyed pretty easily by Makarov on the buck last time we saw his defense. So I don't know what they've really accomplished with it besides the C4 from Levron. I think maybe just waste time or anything in a sense. It's hard to say, but either way, we've seen them win this night before. Usually do some really good information getting in the end, or some really good flanks, like the Arctic Lay flanking in the end, you get some good kills. So it's hard to say whether or not we see the end of the game here or not, though. It's Katsu. See if they're able to do what they do here.
So I think the big thing with Goyo in this bomb site is He's really powerful if his shields can stay up, right? Because you put them right next to those garage walls, and then the planters really can't, like, safely plant there because they'll, of course, get blown up, and the Vulcan shield will burn them to a crisp. How you can counter that, though, is the same way that you counter bandit batteries on that garage wall all the time. You just go up above, and you can destroy them ahead of time before you go for that push. A lot of teams aren't going to know that right off the bat, especially early on in the season. It could be tough to sort of realize that this is what you need to do. Credit to Katsu, they did a pretty good job at countering that in rounds prior. So hopefully for their sake, they can do that again. And it won't be too big of a threat for them. But so if you leave those Goyo shields alone for like most of the round, and then you try to push and you find them unexpectedly, that's going to be a big problem when you go for your plan.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, they've destroyed before, but I'm not sure if they're able to do it again. As it looks like there's C4s, though, from Levron and the Pulse of Jay, who may deal with Buck before he even gets a chance to destroy them. Because last time, it's pretty much what it is. The Skelty opens the floor, they destroy them from above. Though this time, like, if they're able to understand he does this every single time, they could easily C4 macro right here as he does this. But it looks like, never mind, yeah, Jay's over by Archives. And there goes one, there goes maybe two, looks like three of them destroyed. So there goes all the Vulcan shields once more. A C4 thrown from Kitchen will not find anybody, unfortunately. And so at this point now, this is the pressure coming from above and from outside garage. We'll need to see what the response is from Bro. There's a response from Arctic to jump down the hatch. He sees another knife six in the face. That's 2 kills for Arctic. And this could be the end here for Katsu as Bro are now in the manpower advantage with a minute left, though. To see what exactly happens. But Levron, though, coming up with Spiral takes him Noski. This is just one after another. Katsu are not able to really account for any of the defenders being this aggressive.
Subarctic rocking the socks off the attackers. There goes a return frag from Oasis, finding Levron, who had also picked up 1 kill this round. That's a very good position for the defense. Those flanks coming in so huge. And Subarctic's not done. He's still on that top floor and ready to go for more if he does need to. More likely than not, those attackers are going to be working towards that garage door, so probably there's not going to be a threat. But look at this angle. No, not again. He's going to drop one more time, and he's going to be able to get that kill. That'll be the match. Bra take it in round 14 off of some fantastic plays from Subarctic. What a game. What a game. Our second overtime of the night. Oh, boy. At least this
15
one.
rounds.
No, that's very
15,
true.
114 though.
14 rounds is an improvement for my vocal cords, that's for sure. What a fantastic match. Huge congratulations to Bra taking down Katsu and continuing on in this tournament. Both teams will survive, but that's going to put them up to a 7-1 record. Man,
I think someone told me that OTF lost to Amy's
that was
Army.
a meme. That was a meme. I
hope
checked
that was. They actually
because-
lost against them. Okay, no, they 7-1 them. It's okay. Never mind.
It's
That was crazy.
yeah.
Oh my god.
No, the other teams are still undefeated, of course. Who won that one? Senshi? OTF? OTF still undefeated. Inside of these
OTF still
qualifiers.
they're 8-0 now. 8-0.
That's a good scoreline. They have one more game. Both Katsu 2 and Bra will have one more game, and we will
I'm
have.
assuming they're gonna play against PogChamp most likely.
I hope so. I mean, we have about.
I'm pretty sure because PogChamp's second was 7-1, so I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
Okay, well, we've got 10 minutes or so to figure that out. So we're going to kick it to some music. You guys go use the bathroom, get some snacks. We will be back with the last matchup of Open Qualifier number 1 for Challenger League season number 11. Come back after the break. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Step back and wait to hear slam and track. Rock a jam by popular demand. I'm back.
That is constantly changing. Always rearranging. Always rearranging. Always rearranging. That is constantly changing. Always rearranging. Always rearranging. That is constantly changing. Always rearranging. Always rearranging. Always rearranging. That is constantly changing. Always rearranging. Always rearranging. Always rearranging.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to the final match of the night between Flawed GG and Joe Esports. We are jumping right into this one. A third match on Consulate. Hopefully it'll be a third match that goes all the way. We've had some crazy close games today, and we're hoping to finish it off with one more. Already Capitao and No Matter off the board. I'm again going to be joined by Keg on production and the wonderful Benny AU as my co-caster. Benny, welcome back to the bands. What? I've never been sarcastic in my life, he said sarcastically. I mean, Console's a fun map. I don't know if it's a fun map 3 times in a row, but it's still a fun map. Yeah, I mean, she was used pretty effectively in the last two games in specific rounds. Certainly not like a staple pick every single time. But there were certainly moments where she was good, particularly I think like in the bathroom, she was probably the most effective when you're defending on the bottom bomb site. You want to put a roamer in the bathroom. Having a mirror window helps quite a bit to see into piano. So that's sort of the main position we see her in. Also downstairs, just looking at the garage door, we saw her use quite a bit as well. So she has her moments. I can see the ban. Mm-hmm. We'll see though. Wimpy bringing out the Goyo as you were talking about. We didn't really see him get used on this top floor, which is a big deal for me because again, when he's used on that bottom floor, a lot of the times his shields can be opened up prematurely, which isn't ideal. That obviously can't happen on this bomb site. Maybe you could go from down below. That's going to be a lot trickier for you though. So we'll see where he wants to place them and if that actually results in anything. I kind of like the idea of maybe putting one just by like the console office windows. Like you could stop somebody from vaulting in, just explode things for them. They're actually going to place it in an interesting spot there. That could be opened up by the attackers. Interesting. There's going to be a push through admin office anyway, so it doesn't seem like it'll really matter too much at the end of things. Oh no. Oh, that's pretty early. Looks like Ollie's still in here, so it shouldn't be. We've got a little bit of firepower being exchanged between these two squads. You haven't resulted in any kills, at least from one team onto the other. We've had a team kill open up our match, and maybe that's a little bit of the nerves to start things off. This is the first time I've casted Flaw GG. They've probably been casted earlier on in these qualifiers because these are pretty well-known players. This is sort of the core of Elevate when they played in Challenger League. So Nog, Pixel, Rich, these are players that should be recognized by most people. As they continue looking into this site, though, we're looking about another player downed. Yeah, take a look at that. Pixel getting downed outside of the projector window is a pretty big deal because that's going to be a lot of pressure relieved from the defenders. A lot of pings coming out anyways. You've got 30 seconds. The attackers seem a little bit flustered. You've got still anchors on this bottom side as well, or roamers I should say, dealing with drones. So the roam clear has clearly not been too successful coming out from Flaw GG. Worried about that first floor. There's a good kill from Wimpy, just sneaking up on Rich, able to find a kill where he's not looking for him. Frag Ladorian, aka Rich, is able to find Geo. So that's a nice shot to equalize the numbers. There's rethinking onto Low Jacks into the bomb site. Clicks manages to find Nog. You just leave it all alone onto Pixel, who'd already been down in this game, and he's got no chance at winning that gunfight. Looks like Joe Esports will take round number 1, and Flaw GG take the first loss. Did not, no. totally. That's a little bit strange. I mean, you've got a lot of hard destruction, or hard destruction. You've got a lot of anchor operators on the board already with Maestro and Smoke, so I don't hate that Echo's not being brought out. Maybe you just want a little bit more flexibility. That's totally fine. A little bit better fragging power definitely doesn't hurt. I think probably if you're looking at this matchup, you're thinking that Joey Sports are probably the favorites. I know that's weird to say because Flawed GG have probably the more notable names. They have that CL experience, but this roster's gone through so much turmoil, I would say, over the last couple of years. Their players have retired and unretired and done this and that, and I feel like a lot of people have kind of lost confidence in this squad. So Joe Esports maybe going to be the favorites coming into this one. Again, though, I do hope we have a close matchup because these are two teams that are both 6-2 in the qualifiers right now, and they would be looking to make a mark into that top 16 bracket, but certainly neither are going to be automatic send-ins to the top 16.
Down below to the basements, and it's an overall clear Flood GG, and then they're probably gonna find a way. Someone's actually upstairs. It's rethinking Wimpy. They have also barricaded some of these doors so they can easily tell when the enemy is coming. I wonder how well he's getting shot from the stairs. That's a good pre-fire into the wall to do some damage to Diaz. Not a lot, but at least will scare Diaz off for the moment. And those Wimpy sees another, he'll do some more damage to Diaz and put him on low HP. And overall, just really wasting time here for the attack. And they could leave at this point. They're just wasting much time here for the attackers.
I apologize for the audio issues that have been plaguing the stream. We should be all good to go now. I just thought that people probably didn't want to listen to Benny, but apparently you do, so now you can hear him. Sorry, Benny.
Wow, damn, the disrespect is high today.
Yeah, my bad. Oh, we're just reaching that halfway mark on this round, and yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot happening from the attackers. Again, feeling a little bit flustered perhaps from that last round. I mean, you come back into this one, and hopefully it's a bit of a mental reset. You are attacking onto a different bomb site, going down towards that basement, but there's a lot of ground still held by the defenders. Joe Esports have some players on that first floor. They have people in both piano and inside of the bathroom, and there hasn't been a lot of pressure being placed by Flawed GG to get them out of there. That's what I'm worried about. Rethinking even on a huge room, top of yellow, or in the middle of yellow stairs. That's still a bit of a worry. If I'm Flawed GG, you don't know where these players are, and as long as that's the case, you're going to be vulnerable to a late round flank.
Also, yeah, there's not a lot of work here. He's ahead of one with Rich with his face taken off. That's one play off the board. It makes it so much easier here for them to keep playing as they don't have to worry about too much. A C4 thrown. Looks like that extra charge will cause Gio to jump back down. But either way, it's 46 left to go. There's still time for the attack, but they haven't really used a lot of utility to try and find anybody. Though Pixel will find Ollie. Trying to hide behind White Van. Wimpy, they'll take out Pixel in a refrag. So it's back and forth, but more still in the favor of the defense. Wimpy gets a third. Oh, no, not a third, a second onto DS. That's still 3 members off the board here for the attack of Flawed GG. And overall, it's just not working out as I finally try to open the wall up with the last 15 seconds left to go. Not much really have to do here for Flawed GG, as it's just up to low and Nog is trying to make their way through. They have upstairs control to impress, so there's even vertical control. So there's so many angles that they walk through, so many shots they go through. He's gonna walk right into Rethinking. Logan's taken out, and Rethinking will finish up Nog too, and Joe Esports will take another round.
Good plays from Rethinking to end off that round. A very nice 2K to help his stats. Realistically, that wasn't going in the way of Flawed GG no matter what, though. I mean, really, like, you take a look at that round, and what were they doing for the first minute and a half, maybe even 2 minutes? Sure, you get top floor control, but that's not nearly enough, right? I mean, you don't manage to open up the garage door until very, very late. You don't clear out that first floor ever. You never really take a solid shot at the bathroom. So, I don't know, that's questionable to me with what they were actually busy doing for the first parts of those rounds. I guess you're info gathering, you're on your drones, you're watching angles, but like there needs to be a more active attack to start things off. LoJack's still in the negative after that first team kill too, so not only, I hate to pick on the guy, but not only did he only get a team kill and nothing else in round 1, but he didn't even do enough of an impact in round number 2 to get himself out of the negative. That's gotta change.
Yeah, this is looking really bad for the side of Flawed GG so far. I really gotta agree though. They really didn't do much. I know they ran into some of the roamers, but the roamers just worked so well to just ghost and leave and waste time. It's so ridiculous. So hopefully this time they can clear them out, maybe even get some kills and some frags out of it too. As we're going now to lobby and press room, where they're gonna have to clear upstairs again anyway. Though I'm pretty sure we'll see Joe Esports hold upstairs a lot heavier and a lot longer. Maybe, well, I'd say a lot longer, but try a little longer than before at least. As
10 seconds.
nothing really changed with roles wise. You'll see at least Rich now picking up the Jackal though this time, maybe to try and deal with them. And I think not much of Diaz will drop the IQ though and bring a Jackal, a
Locate and defuse a bomb.
Buck instead, as it looks like there's no really need for the IQ.
That's fair. You know, the Valkyrie's obviously been banned out. The Echo hasn't seemingly been favored by Joe Esports. So I don't hate that decision at all. Good to see some adaptation coming out from Flawed GG, if nothing else. There's an early C4 and beautifully tossed by Wimpy Kid. DS goes down on Repel, and that is just one of the worst ways to die. Rich has taken a moment for his own compadre. Jeez, that is really, really unfortunate. But, I mean, fantastic game sense to come out from Wimpy to be able to land that shot. It's a risky C4, but it paid off, and he's got to be very happy about that.
That's skill trajectory. You have to know the trajectory to hit the window like that. So really good work with Wimpy to get that C4 off. And overall, yeah, this is a much more aggressive hold from upstairs, and you see a shotgun and Ollie here as well. So they have to really just deal with all of these defenders holding these entries past admin.
Started to open up a couple more angles, though. I like this attack already a little bit better, despite the fact that they've eaten a C4 so early on. There's at least some pressure onto these defenders. Rich just missing a few crucial shots, leaves Ollie alive. Click's going for some aggressive peeks. Rethinking actually gets the better of Nog, though, so that's going to be your hard destructor off of the board. That's the Habana no longer in play, and I don't believe they opened up into Projector, did they?
No. I don't think they open projector wall at all either. No, so it's
That's
just like
big
this.
Problem.
Yeah, it's just losing your Habana without using those X Kairos appropriately. Because I think they couldn't even open it because every time they peeked around the corner, there was Ollie was there. So now Ollie's already left it already, but they lost Habana in that engagement. So this is really bad. They can't really even deal with rethinking inside of projector without really just straight up attacking through the doorway.
You're worried about that a little bit, I'd say, but it's not inherently over. I mean, you've got about half the damage dealt onto Ollie, and you are still focused on this. You are somewhat ignoring the roamers who are down on the first floor. Ollie, in particular, is down there inside of bathrooms, just reloading his shotgun. He's going to be a thorn in your side. When you have two players down like this, you do have to make a decision. Are you going to focus those roamers and get them killed quickly to then try to even out the scoreboard without losing anybody and then focus on that bomb site, or do you just ignore them? Usually ignoring them is the better, the easier play. Pixel is trying to go that angle. He's looking into the bomb site. A couple of his teammates, though, were down towards that first floor, though, so perhaps a bit of a split push by this squad. He's going to challenge rethinking. That's a deadly, deadly opinion. Oh, no. Deadly choice, I should say. Now towards the front door. He's looking for one more. It's Rich who's down there to try to take that fight. Rich actually wins it onto Ollie, and Rich gets another one. So Rich a little bit on fire down on that first floor. His teammate's been down, so he needs the ace, or he needs the pickup if he wants to win this one, though. It looks like they're just going to bait out the time. This is an unwinnable round, and it will be going the way, assuming they don't get in. Yeah, Wimpy getting two great kills, actually, at the end there. Will be going the way of Joe Esports 3-0.
I would say so far, Joe Esports has a really, really good knack for timed aggression. And in groups, too. That's one thing I see so far is they've been working together to be aggressive, and they really know how to time it well. That's really been working for them. They have 3 rounds in a row now. You see Rethinking and Wimpy just taking kills left and right, and Flawed GG don't seem to have an answer for it just yet.
We had an hour and a half long matchup, followed by an hour and 15-minute long matchup, and this one is aiming to be around like 45 minutes based on how these rounds have gone. They have been relatively long, but if we don't see some changes coming out from Flawed GG, then we might not see them pick up very many rounds. Of course, it's still only been 3, so you don't want to put too much emphasis on those. We also haven't had a half swap yet, but running the gauntlet on defense is typically not an easy task, and so I think partially it is the roamers just doing such a good job of staying elusive on the side of Joe Esports, but it's also a big part of Flawed GG just not finding them and addressing them fast enough.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's just like there seem to be maybe not enough information gathering on the side maybe of Flawed GG, but they seem to not be able to address, again, like you said before, some of these aggressive plays and just roamers and players who are in places you wouldn't expect though, because really you wouldn't expect for Ollie to hold like that on admin. You don't see very often where they hold a 3-man hold, like people pushing from admin into the vending machine or into long desk. So it's very interesting how they address this and how Joey Swiss plays this. So maybe even Flood just aren't used to it just yet, but there's 3 rounds to go in this half, so they still have time to adapt and change up their strategy for this. As Wimpy again trying for the C4, I don't think anybody's gonna let it happen. As I said, never mind.
No, Pixel! Not again! Not again!
He
Wimpy.
was on a drone too.
Oh, 2 rounds in a row with that same C4. I mean, Wimpy's been on fire with him. 2 different operators he's picked up, and both times he's let her rip and gotten a kill off that exact same window. That is really, really unfortunate for the guys on Flawed GG. Definitely something we got to start expecting in these next couple of rounds, but Wimpy is more than happy that he's been able to get that to work twice. Most people can't even get that off 1 time. So again, you find yourselves a player advantage early. That's really gonna dampen the spirits, if nothing else, of Flawed GG. Now again, you've got to make a decision. Are you going to be going downstairs and worried about roamers, or are you just pushing the site? It looks like it's a pretty heavy emphasis on the bomb site. I mean, Rich is already inside of the vending machines, or at the vending machines, and looking down the long hallway, trying to find somebody maybe at the admin off or at the CEO desk. If they can get down there, that would be ideal. Rethinking is currently playing. They're trying to hold on inside of the top floor bathroom as well. We've got Rich starting to make his entryway here too, but he's not aware of Ollie, who's up close with the SMG-11. That'll be enough to shred him to pieces, and Diaz going down for that engagement.
Again, this timed aggression is so perfect aside, but there's an overhead repel. That's something that's harder to deal with, and he won't be able to get the kill, and Ollie will get refragged. But either way, you lose the Thatcher early on, so they really can't deal with it. Rethinking's jumping out to deal with somebody in the repel, and he will get the kill into Nog, who's outside of the balcony of A. That is a great kill, and one that did not expect to see what the diffusion out on the floor. He'll pick it up. Gio gets a kill on the Rich, and with 1 person left, it's low in a 1v4. It doesn't matter as somebody's downstairs in the lobby. It's gonna be Gio to finish up low, and my god, Joe Esports have a knack for taking players out left and right.
Nice flick from Gio. I mean, standing on the desk, looking the wrong direction, literally behind you, the door gets opened up when you flick around and hit that headshot. Well done. Alza deserved good night. I'll give it to him. A lot of times people throw that out when it's really not necessary to throw the GN in there, but that time around, that was definitely worth it. Take a look at that scoreboard, and Rethinking and Wimpy are carrying this match. 14 kills between them. The rest of the server has 6, 8, 9, 10. 10 kills between the other 8 members inside the server. Don't want to say anything bad about Ollie, Gio, or Clicks, because again, when you're up 4-0, it's fine if you're not fragging. Clearly they're participating in somehow, or at least they're not needed to participate. But that is a little bit concerning for every single member of Flaw GG.
I was like, so far, just every time they take these fights, they don't expect it. Like Ollie, when he peeked out from the side of projector to long desk, you saw Rich just not expect it. Like these are just these plays that they're making, and Flaw GG just aren't expecting half the time. They aren't expecting this aggression that comes out from the side of Joe Esports. And I don't know if they're ever going to wise up or if they're going to try and figure something out to deal with it, but they need to soon, because if they end this half at different 4-2, it's not looking good for Flaw GG. To end the half at 5-1 or 6-0 even is leading to pretty much a downfall.
I'd agree 100%. I think that 4-2 is recoverable, especially in a game or in a match where you have overtime, right? You can be looking for that 6-6 scoreline. You get your own 4-2 split or a 5-1, which isn't easy, but it's certainly doable. Perhaps Flaw GG is just a lot stronger on their defensive holds than their pushes. Perhaps the pushes of Joe Esports would prove to be not all that great. So when the side swaps, anything is possible, but when it's a 5-1 or a 6-0, you're really worried. This is a lot better. Look how fast this is. They're rushing into the bomb site, and it's going to be a very fast take. Already, Wimpy's picked up 2 first troubles, though. It's a 3-on-3. Diaz and Nog picked up the 2 in favor of Flawed. Looks like Pixel's going to add on to that as well, and Nog can start with this plan deep inside a cafeteria. That's going to be huge. Gio trying to desperately get back to his teammates, back to the bomb site. Rethinking's not too close either, realizing the diffuser's gone down, and just like that, the round is over. An extremely fast one gives Flawed GG their very first point on the board.
Well, that was a change up entirely. I don't know how they read into that, but they joined a little bit. They figured it out. They opened the wall and they said, screw it, we're going in. And that would give them the first attacking round here for Flawed GG. They need one more to really make it worth it or make it at least retakeable in the next half. As we go down to lobby and press room again. Interesting.
All right, I guess they don't want another repeat of that hold. I mean, it's fair. Their lobby hold was really, really good too. When they held this in round number 3, they kept the numbers advantage early. Now, a lot of that did come off of your early C4 kill, which was of course nice, but you can't count on that again, of course. And so holding on to this one more time, top course is just going to be crucial. You got to hold on to that. They did do that last time around, and that's how they got the last couple of kills. That's how they won most of their gunfights. I do believe it was hard to even realize that the bomb site wasn't on the top floor. So, I mean, yeah, I think this is a fine choice coming out from Joe Esports. Even if you lose it, it's only a 4-2 split. You're probably not too worried about that.
Yeah, I think either way, Joey Sports in a really comfortable position at this point. If it loses round, let's see if they try to retake that same strategy, whether it be the C4 or holding on the vending machine and long distance for as long as possible. As may do the same thing, but either way, like, I think, yeah, going to the half 4-2, they're looking really good, and we'll see like how they attack and how Flaw GG defend though, because they're back to the wall. Momentum's been against them the entire game so far, and I don't know if they're going to be able to bring it back on defense or not. As it looks like they're losing a lot of fights, and that's a huge confidence. Confidence is lost really quickly when you lose fights that easily.
Well, we've got one round before we get to that half swap, of course. That's going to be round number 6, which we're looking at right now. And again, there are a lot of those players up on that top floor. 2, 3 from Wimpy, it looks like. But Wimpy may be considering going downstairs. He's on the stairs right now, so fair enough. With the pre-play C4, he almost wants to shoot around to pick it up, perhaps. Doesn't look like that's going to be his strategy, though. But just, you know, sitting around. You don't need to. An interesting entry from the yellow stairs coming out from FlyGG. This is clearly a practice strat that they've run over a couple of times. Could be going up those yellow stairs to clear the roamers up top. Rich finds Wimpy, so that's going to be the guy who was playing up top, playing downstairs. Diaz finds one to rethinking too, so this has looked a lot better in 2 rounds. Somehow they've managed to turn everything around, and wow, really solid entrance from the guys over on FlyGG. Well done.
Yeah, some missed positions here from the defense, or just being able to risk walking into the attackers. Maybe they're not sure where they were, but you had one, I think, that the buck of Diaz got a kill into the little cubby of console office, and just, it seems like rethinking wasn't expecting it. So some unexpected plays here from the attack, and then Rich able to catch Wimpy downstairs is really good. So now that really gets a foothold here for the attack to make their way to press or make their way into lobby, but Ollie from above will take it low. Nog gets Geodos. Another 4v2, he jumps down, he'll take Nog out in a refrag. So with that being said, it's still 3v2, and Rich still on yellow stairs will take out Ollie. Another refrag. It's back and forth, but because of the kills from before, technically Frag or Flaw GG's in the lead manpower wise, as they now take control of lobby, and they're trying to figure out what to do here as Clicks has the upstairs coverage. He sees one, and Pixels is walking around unsure of where exactly Clicks was. He walks right into the crosshair from the hatch of Clicks, and now it's DS all alone in 1v1. He's not sure exactly what to do. The shotgun will be able to at least make some holes and see where he's planting, but there's no real information here for Clicks though, so it's kind of the problem is that he could easily walk into the bait of DS if he tries to, you know, place the diffuser down and bait out the push from Clicks. As he begins to place the diffuser, and Clicks looks for an angle, and Diaz is just jumping on back and forth on it. It looks like he's gonna maybe stick it this time as the drop comes through, and Diaz gets at the right time, and he'll take the head off of Clicks. And that's a really good play for Diaz, and Flaw GG take another round in half 4-2.
Not too bad then. They really started to recover that. I was worried a little bit for them because that was a very winnable clutch, especially when you got the first pick. But nope, it looks like Flaw GG can close that out, and they aren't going to be going down 6-0 or 5-1 in the half. That's really important. You can come into this one 4-2, pretty decent split. LoJack's still pretty low on that scoreboard. 0 kills, the only one, of course, being onto his teammate. So unlucky there, way back in round number 1. We'll swap sides as we were talking about, and hopefully we just see that Flaw GG are a little bit, either they're more of a defensive team, or they've just got their mojo in, right? Sometimes it can take a while for teams to sort of heat up in a match, especially if you've been on a long break or if you've been playing a lot of games. Keep in mind, this is the last match of the night. It's our third and final game for all the players, as well as us casters and you viewers if you've been around the whole time. So teams might be getting a little bit tired this late into the night. I think particularly by making it this far, you've got to assume that these are pretty competent players, pretty competent teams, and every team that's made it all the way to match number 9 is going to be a qualifier for making it to the closed qualifier, if that makes any sense, right? They're going to be in the pot of teams that you're expecting to make it to top 16 and then eventually to CL. I hope that this doesn't die.
Keg, it doesn't go off of you. It goes off the server usually, so...
It wouldn't make sense
there we
if
go.
it was Keg.
Good to go.
Good. Ubisoft server, second time it's happened, but neither time has resulted in a rehost, so that's good. We're back into the matchup. And yeah, I think particularly you have to be talking about really phenomenal plays at the very start of the match from rethinking, and then as he's cooled off, Wimpy Kid really coming to his own as his match has developed. And then, you know, a bit of a comeback from Flawed GG too.
Yeah, definitely good to see that the Flaw GG players are getting their kills and they're working well together. Unfortunately, Low hasn't really made much of an impact. Hopefully, will later on in his defensive rounds. I think the only impact he's had so far is shooting his teammate in the face, which isn't much of an impact that you want to see. But we'll see exactly how Flaw GG hold this upstairs and the downstairs, because it is a cafeteria and garage defense, and what exactly the team of Joe Esports does to deal with, you know, Nog inside the bathroom. Or any player upstairs. I think there's one more player from Flaw GG upstairs too. So are they going to try and roam clear? Or are they going to go for a push like you saw from Flaw GG where they just ran in?
I'd like to see it, to be honest. I don't know if they really have the lineup to do so. They haven't brought a ton of just phenomenal guns. Although they do have perhaps a more utility-based version of this. The fact they brought the Buck makes me think they probably want to take this one floor at a time. The Zofia as well could contribute to some of that. I think probably you're looking at the gridlock for a little bit of that flank denial, as well as that post plant could help you out a little bit. So I think it's probably gonna be a little more standard. We already see Geo inside a press room. Now you're worried about Diaz in particular up on the top floor, and then also of course the player playing inside the bathrooms. Here's the drop from Diaz, and he's perfectly timed to take down Geo. Well executed play by him, and he's gonna put his team inside of a numbers advantage. Really well roam played from Flawed GG. It seems like we're only a few seconds in, but it seems like they're much stronger on the defense.
Yeah, they're already taking advantage of just... It seems like they didn't join out enough to know that Diaz upstairs, so that's some kind of... Maybe you see it as though Joe Esports are feeling really good. They're kind of being a bit too comfortable in their way, as they're not droning out enough. They're not really seeing where these players are, and so Diaz takes advantage of that, gets the kill. Really good work. And now with a minute and 30, still a lot of time left, and they have the garage open, so now they're going to make a pressure onto the anchors. They tend to have cleared out most of the roamers except for Nog here, but I don't know how much they can really account for the other roamers who may try to, you know, flank later on.
Oh, a good frag grenade almost finds Nog, but he manages to hide just deep enough inside of those bathrooms, and he will survive. This wall being totally blocked off, of course, will make it a little bit harder for him to actually contest people inside of press room. He's going to have to come out of the antechamber where Ollie is standing right now. And, ooh, this has been a great buck play. Can he actually find the frag, though, onto Lojax and down beneath him? Lojax doesn't even necessarily seem aware that Ollie has opened up the floorboards above him. He's focused on that garage door. Now he should see it on his screen, though. He's hearing a C4. Of course, that's going to be one of his teammates. There's the peek out from Nog. Outside of the bathroom. Finds Ollie. So that's the threat of those floorboards completely eliminated with both Geo and Ollie out of the game. Click's going to be going for this plant as Wimpy and Diaz both pick up a kill. Wimpy with the second. Again, he's been phenomenal so far. He pulls out the super shorty. Can he get the kills? Looks like his teammate can get one. Lojax finding Clicks. That's his teammate down. He's now got very little HP to protect this diffuser. It's a good post plant site for the attackers, but he's got solo HP. There's so many defenders left alive. It's a 3-on-1. A nice first shot. Can he hit the second? Oh. The ace coming from Wimpy. Oh, what was that? Good night.
Oh my god.
Oh. Wimpy himself. That was a nuts play. You'll have to see it coming out to pierce the round. Stops the bleeding too.
Clutching that. That was... That in all aspects should have been around here for Flaw GG. They needed it too to keep them going because they're already down 2, or they were down 2, and they're looking to take that win. It could have been their win. Maybe honestly, should have been not really bad win. It could have been their win because it was a 1v3 post situation. You had them even flanked to try and deny the play, but it still went down, and Wimpy was able to get out alive too, even though the Alda of Low destroyed Clicks, who was the one who planted the diffuser. So the fact that it was a 1v3 when Wimpy was low HP, even the ACOG game, he still had a holographic and able to take all 3 fights and win them all. My God.
Wimpy will be accepting Pro League offers as soon as qualifiers are over. So just wait for Qualifier 5 to be done so that we can cast him throughout these quals. And then, of course, G2 or Empire, he is willing to relocate. So do keep that in mind.
Oh
Speaking
my God.
professionally, as his ego. Cafeteria,
Well, hope
we
to
come
see.
back, right?
Yeah, they're trying it again.
Which makes sense, right? Because there's no way that Wimpy does that 2 times in a row. Lightning typically doesn't strike twice. And it was a solid hold, right? I mean, the play inside of the bathroom from, I believe it was Nog, was really effective in stopping those floorboards from being opened up. They opened up a little bit, but like eventually those players were felled and it wasn't too big of an issue. Despite the fact that Lojax was a little bit vulnerable to it, there was good cover from Nog again. So trusting your teammates, and clearly that's a strategy that will work out for them. Not a lot of things changing up, and again, it makes sense. We'll see what the attackers want to do to counter it though.
Let's see if this time if the DS gets caught off on that roll, if we get able to get those kills like last time. That was a big influence of being able to drop down from console offense and deal with, you know, the Zofia on the or instead of press and stuff like that. So we'll see if they're able to get those roams off again here. And this time Echo's been brought along though, so it looks like Rich will be on Echo. So at least Joe Esports didn't bring it, but Flaw GG isn't too scared to bring Echo and use the MP5SD and the Yokais to their advantage. Looks like rethinking a take control upstairs though, so there's no flank here from the Jaeger of Diaz. Some good flank drones pop as well, but Pixel's actually able to drone to avoid one of those Pixel drones, is now making his way through 2 spirals. So there's actually some kind of flank coming out here from Pixel. Will it work out though, and will be the game changer?
It's been a bit of a slower round compared to last time. You can tell that Joe Esports want to take their time a little bit more, despite that win that I'm sure pumped them up. They gotta be cautious. Clicks starts things off a lot better this time around. Ollie also there to find Nog, so this counter roam has been a lot less successful. Lojack's caught from those floorboards up above him, and then Nog inside of the bathroom, not successful. Now you've got Pixel on this top floor, and Diaz looks like he wants to rotate. I kind of like that, because the play has to be made, but it might be too late. Clicks is already here to go for this plant, and there's not a lot of people that can do anything to stop him. Maybe from up above, Pixel does find rethinking, but the plant is down. Gio is able to stop the flank coming in from Pixel. That leaves us just to Diaz and a Rich left alive. One of them goes down. Ollie's left, or last to get that kill. Diaz pretty much unwinnable situation. He's got to both get 4 kills and get down below on a map, or on a bomb site, I should say. That's very, very difficult to get post-plant victories as a defender. I don't know about this one. Probably gonna just be a wasting time sort of situation. There he goes.
So they're already on match point. Well, that was fast.
A little bit faster.
That was
I joked.
yeah, a little bit faster.
I joked 45 minutes. It's been 50, so we didn't go that fast. But yeah, this has been pretty dominant from Joe Esports. We saw obviously some good rounds from Flawed, and I would say in particular round number 7 should have gone their way. I think everybody would say that. If Wimpy was human, then that would have been a round for Flawed GG. But who knows? I mean, a 6-2 is not the craziest comeback we've ever seen from teams before. But they need to change something, I think. And I've said that a couple of times now, but I think it is true. Their holds there was fine. They aren't going to go back to it just yet. They will have to eventually play that bomb site unless they really just want to rotate through the split site and through the lobby a couple of times. But for now, it's console office meeting room. And they haven't played this one yet. I'm interested to see what they do with it.
Yeah, I was definitely on a downstairs site. Like, that was a good rotate to go upstairs, but in the end, they were still picked off, and even the roamers coming back to site were just too late at that point, because they started off the roam kind of late, and in that time they were leaving. It was really good on the fact that Joe Esports was able to get inside and get that plant down. So if they were to retry that site again, hopefully those roamers time it better, I guess I'd say. But we'll see them do upstairs instead this time, and we'll see if they can hold on to the top floor away from the attackers of Joe Esports. Joe Esports bring something they seem like almost think when they go downstairs, because all he's playing is Sledge. Sledge is not nearly useful upstairs on the top floor site. But, you know, the grenades will hopefully be useful, though.
Yeah, you would probably want to have a buck, I'd agree, just because you can use that vertical play from below. But yeah, it's not totally useless just because you've misread the situation. Probably would have preferred the buck. But oh well, you got a decent gun still, and some grenades as well from Ollie. while he's been having a fine game, really the focus has been on Rethink and more so recently Wimpy for the squad and for the whole game, really. We'll start to drone in. It looks like it wants to be an admin office take. Most of their players are towards the east side of the building. That's fine. Totally valid way to go. You do have the Habana, so you're going to be able to open up that wall into Projector. Not too worried about that. In terms of roamers on the defense, I didn't see anybody down on the first floor or in the basements. All the outlines I'm seeing as well seem to just picture the defenders up on that. Oh no, what am I saying? There's 2 of them down on that first floor. So they've got some roam presence. A couple of them with C4s too. Nog is able to hit a headshot onto Geo to start this matchup. The good Knights are flying this game. Wimpy with the track stingers are going to try to counter these roamers down below. Teammate Geo has already gone down, but that doesn't mean that he can't find these guys and get some revenge kills.
It looks like though Joe Esports are trying to maybe even take advantage of the fact that our roamers as they push straight forward to deal with Nog inside. But it looks like as the impact comes out maybe from the Maestro to stop these X-Kairos, another impact comes through to try and deny it even more. And it looks like it won't be able to deny all of the pellets. Some of them go off, and now there's a bit of an angle into Projector. DS does take a rethinking though in that time, and it's kind of falling apart for Joe Esports. They're losing members in these engagements on the way back through. Wimpy gets one to Rich though, so just trade back. There goes one of the C4s below. Wimpy's trying to deny any kind of indirect change here from below. Say C4 is to deny a plant, but Frag, the Pixel's still below though with the C4. I don't know if Wimpy's gonna try and go around Spiral and try and find the one in main lobby. A grenade comes out, but we're gonna find nobody inside a Projector. With a minute left at 3v4, Joey Sports really feel what to do here. They're kind of an impasse that to take a lot of these fights that really aren't in their advantage.
They're using their time effectively. They know they still got a bit of it, not a crazy amount. This is a bullet hole though, and Diaz pumps some damage over towards the attackers. Doesn't get a kill or a down or anything. This is another gunfight. Wimpy, does he win this one? He's got a pretty good stat line right now. Hoping for his sake that he doesn't go down and ruin it. He's only got, I believe, 2 deaths at the moment, so he's maybe playing a little bit more passive for stats. I wouldn't blame him. He's going to go throw some smoke grenades instead. Now rotates back over to the player who was inside of lobby. Really, you're just wasting your own time. Ollie goes down from Nog. These rotations coming out from Flawed GG have proved to be very effective. The last 2 players alive on the attack are very, very low on HP. Pixel's looking for a kill, and he should be able to get it. Yes, he can. Wimpy and Clicks go down one after another, and Flawed GG stay alive in this match.
So 6-3 in the favor of Joe Esports. It's not that crazy. We saw a 3-round catch up by Katsu last time. So
True.
It'll be crazy to see Flawed GG do the same thing. But at the same point, they're still back against the wall, and they have to go back to some of these sites that they aren't able to defend, like Cafeteria Garage. Surprised they're not going to lobby actually. Oh no, they are.
I guess wanting to push off Cafeteria as long as they possibly can. Although no, they can't go to Cafeteria, right? Because they won in round 8. Unless I'm.
No, they'd win Cafeteria.
Okay.
They haven't won a round.
Press room.
That was their first defense win.
No, they won round 8.
Huh?
You know what? I'm wrong. My bad. I've written everything bad.
Wait,
It's
it's
late.
3-6.
Give me a moment. You're right. Yeah.
Locate and defuse bombs.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Attackers
Lobby.
discovered the
That's what we're
location of
talking
the bomb.
about. You lose Cafeteria twice. I guess it makes sense that you don't go back there, even though it's unlocked, because they lost it twice. You're going to go to lobby. You do have to go downstairs eventually if you want to go to the split site, but lobby's not a bad site, as I think was proven by Joe Esports. We've seen a lot of Consulate today. If you've been with us for the whole night, then congratulations. You've also seen a lot of Consulate tonight. And you should, by this point, know that lobby is not the most favored site from teams. It's better than the split site, but typically teams stray away from it. But it's not like we haven't seen plenty of defenders get their wins here, so... This isn't inherently going to be a free win for Flawed GG. They're still going to have to work for it, as they will every single round, as long as Wimpy and the rest of his team are in the server. Coming into this round, a lot of gunfire actually in the hands of Joe Esports.
Yeah, bring Buck and Ash and Gridlock, and then they get, support characters like Thatcher and Thermite. It's almost like they're thinking it's going to be downstairs, but it's hard to say. But they at least have the Buck, though, to deal with a lot of damage upstairs. And this gets changed up. This lineup still works really well for this attack. And We'll see if they can open a projector and deal with some of these defenders upstairs. Look, there's at least 2 or 3 of them upstairs, and we saw from Joe Esports how aggressive they got and how well they were able to deal with these attackers that they pushed in. Well, I'm not sure if FlawGG can do the same, though. We'll see Nog in the same place as he was when he defended on top floor in the corner projector.
In terms of the control gathered by the attackers in this round, not a crazy amount, but they are definitely in the building, as well as on repels. We see Ollie right now. You want to get Nog out of meeting room. That's the big thing. You can't plant as long as he's there, and he's going to remove himself. Yes, the bomb site's not up top, so you couldn't plant in there no matter what, but still, you want to take control of the top floor, and so it's good that they forced him down. Smart from Nog not to hold on too long either. That can be a really deadly position if you maybe are a little bit too risky with it. You stick around for too long. Definitely people have gotten punished there before. Ollie finds the opening frag on a Rich. That's going to be the dock off of the board. Another good night. All right, we got to hold it back on this point. Pixel's been downed and finished off by Wimpy, who again is on the tear with the F90 this time. You've got 3 defenders left alive to keep FlawGG in this match, and in these qualifiers to not go down 6-3. 7-2 is, 7-2 is a much better score than 6-3 would be.
Yeah, we'll see what happens though, because they have control upstairs at this point. Well, sort of. I think it's the one player inside of console office, which is Diaz. Diaz could be the playmaker here to try and stop this. As Nog though actually has melee back upstairs and trying to plant. Lowe's gonna deal with one, but can he stop the plants of Clicks? Clicks he stops actually. From above though, Nog can take control upstairs. He can stop the plants of Clicks. But he takes out Nog, don't refrag. It's still in the favor of the defense, but Lowe's on low HP. DS has his control upstairs, and now Geo in. Wimpy are kind of really figuring out what to do now because they don't have control upstairs, so they can't deny any kind of vertical play. But I say that Wimpy's going upstairs to try and stop DS, and he sees DS, he gets a headshot onto DS, and now it's a 1v2. Low has no HP. This could be ending the round, but 24 seconds left to go. There's still a lot of time now. I'm not sure how Low's going to try and, waste time, but the plants goes out from Geo, and Geo may fall apart here as 2 fragging impacts down him, but it doesn't matter as Wimpy's there to refrag, and that's a GG to Joe Esports.
Good lord, Wimpy Kid. Can we see these stats after this is over, Keg? I want to see this man's scoreline, because good god, that is tough.
He did. He did
Wow.
win literally most of those fights.
No, he's gone. Somebody's gonna have to add him up afterwards then.
Oh no, I think he still shows it because I think he disconnected while at this point. So you think you can see? Yeah,
Okay,
he's still
good.
19
and 4 for a 10-round game. That's pretty good. That's almost 2 rounds.
That's almost a 2.0. Yeah, that's a 2.0 KD pretty much.
Yeah, that's almost two kills a round. That's pretty nuts. Well done to Wimpy Kid and of course the rest of Joe Esports for winning that match. Unfortunate FlawGG ends the first qualifier with a loss, but they still did quite well, right? 6-3 is a very respectable scoreline to have, and I think there were some bright spots on that roster. I think Nog certainly had his moments.
Well, the problem is
he
with
popped
6-3, you don't get any points though, which is unfortunate.
You might, right?
No, because you take 3, you're out entirely.
No, but if you go out, like that's not how points work. You can still get points if you're out. It's just based on your positioning, like 1 through 28. I think if you get 128th, you get 1 point. No matter.
I think it's 1 point though, so it's not even. That's still pointless though.
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends how everybody else did. How many points they'll get. You'll have to go through the brackets. Type exclamation point brackets to be brought to the tournament page. Yeah. To figure out all that after the matches are over. There's definitely still going to be some games streaming right now, though, so we're not going to be able to take a look at it at the end of our night. But speaking of the end of the night, we're here. We finally made it through 3 long, grueling matches. I'd like to give a huge shout-out to Keg for observing these games and doing a fantastic job with it, as well as a huge shout-out to Benny, who has been with me all night long and done a fantastic job casting. Thank you very much, sir.
I'm gonna give a shout out to the teams for picking Concept 3 times in a row. I hate you all. But no, thanks for being along, Jesse. It was fun. It was definitely interesting games. I'm really glad those 2 were just really close though. Those were really good plays.
Fantastic matches, particularly those first 2, and some really good plays from this one too. So I've been very happy with these games. If you're interested in checking out more of these qualifiers, of course, this one is over, but we're going to be back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the next 4 weeks. We've got 5 weeks total. This was the first one. Go ahead and follow that channel if you want to see more of those games. Go ahead and follow Benny's Twitch channel as well. I'll link that as well as all of our Twitter so you can follow everybody after the match is over. Without further ado, though, I'll let you get to bed. I'm going to get to bed. Thank you all for coming in. and have a good night. Bye bye.
I wish there were more casters